Hello! Happy Wednesday. We're back. It's us, your friends from the Stream of Blades, an actual play streaming show where we play Band of Blades, the role-playing game, the tabletop military fantasy role-playing game. My name is Rudy Basso. My pronouns are he, him. I am one of the co-owners of this podcast network Twitch stream that you're watching called Don't Split the Podcast Network. Thank you for joining us today. We've got a really exciting game, as we always do, and I'm excited to continue with the story, which is turning into quite the epic story, I might add. Let me throw it over to our Dungeon Master. Please introduce yourself, my friend, Shane. I'm sorry. And it is just Game Master in this system. It's not like goofy, like whatever. It's not Game Mother. In Alien, the game, it's Game Mother. So, that's good. Awesome. Amber, hi, hello. How are you?
A co-owner of the Geekspective Podcast Network.
Shane, why don't you introduce yourself again? Because maybe Rudy forgot to press the button. He thought he pressed the button. He didn't push the button. Who are you again, Shane, our game master?
Wait,
What happened?
I accidentally had muted my audio. So thank you, Antioxidant, for pointing that out.
You muted everybody?
Oh, and everybody.
I did.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it made for a better show, Rudy. I applaud your decision.
I'm glad I get a redo on that.
That's why Shane's the game mother.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Shane. I'm the game mother. My pronouns are he, him, and I am on Twitter at Mundangerous. And I am also the host of the Total Party Thrill podcast.
Awesome. And Amber, I think they heard the second part, so why don't you just give me the whole intro all over again.
Okay. Hi, I'm Amber. I use she, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at RocketOrca, and I am the co-owner of the Geekspective Podcast Network.
Nice. Sally, hi. How about you? Tell me about yourself, please.
Hi, Rudy. I'd love to. I'm Sally, she, her pronouns. I am on Twitter at Sally T, and I am one of the co-hosts of The Struggle Bus, which is a mental health advice fun show.
Yes. And lastly, I-Hsien, hello. Hi, how are you?
Hey, Rudy. Hey, I'm I-Hsien. I'm the other host of Total Party Thrill. You can find me on Twitter at EvilSenseCarne. Yeah, we talk about RPGs and stuff.
Nice.
What are your pronouns?
They are he, him.
Excellent. Shane, some big stuff happened last week. Why don't you give us a quick recap, and then we will jump right in.
So, first of all, I would like to nominate myself to be Game Zaddy instead of Game Mother.
Game Zaddy. GZ.
What?
Vetoed.
I one strongly for.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay, y'all can mull it over while I give you the recap then. Okay, so you, over the last two episodes, actually, this mission took a long time. You rode across Bone Render's lines to rescue a Barton corporal, Corporal Kadashi, and her warband. And when you got there, you discovered that they had attracted the attention of an infamous heartless called Ake. And you soon discovered why. Alongside the corporal's warband were a pair of Panyar, one of whom was a priestess carrying a mysterious creature in her satchel. It was black as the night and had glowing pinpricks of light like stars in the sky. It was a tiny creature called a star fox, a herald of the Panyar goddess of the moon, Nyx. And then, Ananika, the officer, led a diversion to attract Ake's attention, while Tatanika, the soldier who is not long for this world, charged headlong into pikemen and sprung the main group free from Ake's trap. And ultimately, you were able to escape with the Barton warband as well as the two Panyar. One of them actually succumbed to his wounds on the way home, but the other, the priestess, made it safely. And then when you return to camp, all of the Panyar, led by the spymaster Ash, confront the captain with this strange news. And then ultimately, Greymane leads them to Zora herself. And Zora insists that, yes, this Star Fox is critically important and that it must be reunited, or I guess united, with the Horned One, who's the other living Panyar deity, who is the only deity who might understand what to do with a creature like a Star Fox. So, with great frustration that the Legion is being pulled in too many directions at once, Greymane orders the Corps Undying to abandon Eastlake and march ahead to Fort Callisto, where they hope to reunite with the Horned One. Unfortunately, this means he is effectively condemning the city to death and completely having wasted their efforts to reinforce its defenses.
All right. Okay, we didn't need that second part, but
It's
okay.
realizing.
I didn't realize that either.
I mean, it was inevitable. Everybody's falling here. So.
Yeah, and keep in mind,
Everybody's gonna die.
Yeah.
and Eastlake was also not exactly a well-fortified city.
Yeah,
in
they
the first
already
place.
should have been doing that before we got here, but
Yeah.
they chose
Spoiler:
not
I saw the next map. Things were not gonna go well for Eastlake.
to.
Well, no, not if you abandon it.
Right.
Okay, so we're doing campaign phase
Oh wait,
here,
hang
though,
on,
right?
you've got
we
the
haven't
wrong
left
map,
yet.
Rudy.
Oh, I do.
You should-
Oh,
yeah,
are
you're
we?
showing the wrong
We're on
map.
the new map now, right? Okay, cool.
No, we're on the old map.
We're on the old map.
Yeah, you haven't advanced yet.
Oh, whoops. This is.
I mean, you
super
can't
old
fail
map.
your
This
advance,
is the
but
old map.
spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. Okay, but we still have to do our campaign phase here, right? We never did the campaign phase.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we still
so-
have a time. We still have time at Eastlake.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you, as a command staff, have been working in Eastlake for the past few weeks. Week. So we need to figure out what were the effects of that.
So.
So who would like to go first?
So, who?
I mean-
how are we more hurt or more crazy? I think
Yeah.
crazy.
We're
right?
like hella stressed and hella
yeah.
wounded.
That's oh boy, we're
Oh
both.
boy.
Well,
Yeah.
And how much supply does the Legion have?
We have 2 supply currently.
So keep in mind you can spend supply to get yourself more actions in the
Yeah.
campaign phase, but
Mhm.
you can't take the same action twice.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, there's a few that are you can.
yeah, but you
Uh,
have to do like different things with them or whatever.
Yes.
But yeah.
Do we still have that whatever was making our stress not get replenished? Efficiently?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's that the nightmares, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do
Nightmares.
still have the nightmares from Breaker's curse.
That's a shame.
So basically, with the Juicero, we're just
We're staying static. at
staying
0.
static.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you still, I think we will recover 2.
Unless it's boosted.
Recover to what?
Which-
Stress?
Yeah, if you take the freedom.
Amber, I know you literally just said how much supply we have, but I was
2.
2.
Okay, so
2.
we can spend both of them.
Yeah.
That's fine, right? To upvote.
So the other
I
thing
think
we
we need
wanted
it.
to do in Eastlake
Yeah.
was get an alchemist
Yeah.
or siege weapons.
Yep.
Oh, right.
Because we got a mercy.
We do
Hey,
have a mercy. I named them Kita.
nice.
Nice.
Can Kita like start getting wounded?
Yeah.
There's
That
a
would be helpful.
box that is not ticked currently. So yeah, we could use Kita to help take some wounds.
We've got a fair amount of level 3 harm.
So we
Yeah.
have
Around.
all these new fancy soldiers, though, too. that we
Yeah,
could-
so actually, like, we talked about this a little bit offline, but Mark, who is one of our YouTube watchers, pointed out to me that how direly close you were to actually losing the game.
Oh.
The Legion cannot form 3 full squads. The Legion fails.
Mark.
Yikes.
You were down to 14 members, which would not make 3 full squads,
Hmm.
except that you got those Bartons and are able to pledge them to the Legion. So they can take their oath and reinforce your numbers. But otherwise, yeah, you had lost 1 more than you were allowed to
Oof.
without that
Wasn't
bailout.
paying super close attention to his roster, clearly.
Counted
Well-
somebody twice by accident.
You
Yeah,
could always
exactly.
have recruited this round too. It's
Yeah.
just,
It's
Yeah.
like Tatsunika was like standing in line, and then when he got to the end of the line, she like ran and was counted twice.
It means we had too many Bartons though.
Mm. You
Oh.
went from a very Panyar Legion to a very Barton Legion
We
all of
did.
a sudden.
So
So-
boosting stress clears all stress, right? or
Boosting stress.
Boosting liberty, yeah.
yeah.
Boosting liberty. Excuse me, 1 second. Clears up to 3 stress. And boosted all stress.
Boosted all stress. Okay. Cool.
Boosted all stress.
So that
Wait.
that seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
that
Wait,
over the wounds.
Wait, I'm
So-
sorry, I missed that. It clears all stress?
All
yeah,
stress
when I
It's
boost
boosted,
liberty.
yeah.
Yeah.
By
Oh,
spending
booyah.
supply.
Yeah, so her mechanic is that, like, as quartermaster, you can spend a supply to take an extra action, or you can spend supply to boost actions, and the
I
boosted
see.
effects vary by action,
Mhm.
but the stress one just clears them entirely.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also it increases the morale as well.
I
And
think
so
we're
the
at 10, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you guys have,
Okay,
have
cool.
maintained morale pretty well.
yeah.
What does
Well, how
harm look like?
We've got a
Mm.
fair amount. I mean, Ananika made it through that last mission with a level 3 harm and a level 2 harm.
Tazanika looks
Tatanika
bad.
looks real bad.
Pete looks bad.
Slippery Peter's not doing great.
So
Oh, Arun
I'm
is in
just
good
looking-
shape.
Yeah, Arun is in good shape.
He's
and-
been sitting pretty for a while.
Azure's fine, more
and
or
Red,
less.
Red Raging is fine too. So we have 3 pretty good specialists, and we just need to take 1 on the next mission, and then we can fill with soldiers who are all, we have
However, if
unperked
anyone has level
soldiers.
3 harm and they go in a secondary and that's failed, they will die.
Oh,
Right.
that is a very
That's
good
true.
point.
So level 3 harm right now. Ananika and Slippery.
Is the medic someone you can always send on a secondary? I forget. And they
Yes.
count as the specialist gone?
So you can always send a medic.
Okay.
However, the engagement rules sometimes penalize you if you don't have the correct roll.
Mm.
So
Okay.
you can always the rule for the medic is that you can send them as a 3rd specialist on any mission if you would like.
So
They-
we don't
they
even
could-
have
they
to
count as
send
+1
a
if you would like.
specialist on the secondary. The
A second,
prerequisite,
because
yeah.
you only have to send 1 specialist, so they can be the second.
Yeah.
All that really does, that doesn't give us extra dice though. All it does is really give them XP if they survive, right?
And you get the medic's abilities in the encounter or in the mission.
In the secondary?
Oh no, sorry, no, not in the secondary.
Right. So yeah, it's not really useful to send a medic on a secondary.
Yeah. I was just thinking if you need to spend a specialist, but you don't need
You
to send
need
a
to spend a
specialist.
specific specialist.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
not
that
there's not
can't
a
be
requirement
the
on a number
medic.
of specialists.
Gotcha. It can't be the medic. Okay.
On
So-
an assault mission, it's the medic.
can
It's the
be, yeah.
required one.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
when we know the
of the required
missions,
ones.
can we know our missions now? No, we have to decide to
Nope.
move, right?
Yeah.
it's on to the next
And
location.
just to let you guys know, during rest and recuperation, if we wound a mercy, 1 specialist gains an extra healing tick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
it.
What's a boosted heal?
A boosted heal, every legionnaire gets a 2nd healing tick.
Okay. But I don't think that helps us, right? Because most people have 2 healing ticks.
Yeah, but we still need to. Okay, yeah. So how about this? We use that last supply on an additional thing, like find siege weapons or find.
Right. Acquire
Yeah, we
acquire
don't
assets.
have
Yeah.
any siege weapons at
As
all.
long as we
We're gonna
put
need that.
something towards healing, then that'll start the process. Start the healing process.
Are we for sure clearing stress, boosting liberty?
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
that's
All right. I'm
definitely-
gonna go
it's
through
just
and
so
do some
strong.
stress clearing.
Yeah.
Party to
And-
celebrate the Star Fox.
Hey, welcome, Star Fox.
The Star Fox loves the Juicera.
Yeah.
Okay, so then a regular healing, I think, actually helps a lot of people. I
Mhm.
think that fills 3 ticks for a lot of people. And then I don't know, Amber, the last supply for acquiring
An
is
asset.
whether the siege weapon or an alchemist.
So
But we can't do
Because-
both, unfortunately.
because this would be the last place we could potentially get an alchemist.
I believe so.
But
And
we
we
can
know
get
that there are
siege-
siege weapons we can repair at
Okay.
at
Sky
there-
Dagger.
Okay, so then
Sky
I
Dagger.
would say we would get an alchemist here and then get siege weapons in the next location.
or the last location.
The last yeah,
we
right
can repair
before.
them or figure something out. And like I looked at the points. I think we're in a pretty good place points wise. We've done a lot of special missions. We have lots of all our specialists are still alive. Those all
Oh.
count towards it. So
Shane, did Zora level up?
oh yeah.
We haven't gotten to that yet, but she
okay.
did.
Oh.
Oh.
So that helps too. Actually, I have a question, Shane, because I
Sure.
forget something.
Mhm.
Did I spend an intel to get this special mission, or was it because it was a required mission I didn't have to?
We rolled. I rolled
okay.
a special mission for you.
Okay, so I didn't.
Correct. Yeah, you did.
Okay, cool. So we still have 2 intel, which means I can spend 1 on that secondary mission too, to give us another die. Because I have 2. Okay.
What was? Did we decide about healing?
We are just going to do a regular healing, just a regular rest and recuperation, and then we can wound a mercy.
Yeah. So everyone gets 1 healing tick, and then if someone's about to clear a level 3, then we can give them that mercy tick.
Yep.
And hopefully they'll be the one we send on the secondary.
One tick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1 specialist, 1 tick, and then 1 tick across the board for everybody. So Kita lays down to whoever you lays down next to whoever next to, yeah, or like
Pete is definitely like, oi. Take a look at my leg. Use my fine med kit, which is mine.
Yeah, so actually, I want to know who she's going to be healing.
yeah.
So
No one's gonna clear level 3 harm with 1 tick.
Slippery Peter will.
Wait, really?
Did you just put a point? Did you just?
Are we
Peter?
counting in the right direction again?
Oh yeah, I've reversed course to do it the way everyone else does.
I'm pretty sure that we had somebody who had 1 tick on 3.
You mean left?
No. That had already ticked a box on 3 and needed 2.
It's Slippery Peter.
Oh wait, maybe I'm looking at it wrong again. Okay, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, Pete just needs
God.
1 more.
It's slippery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, Ananika just needs 1 more.
Really?
She's got 2
Yeah,
red
she
boxes.
does, huh?
Yeah, the red boxes are like.
Right. Okay, sorry. Yes, right.
So.
Yeah. So yeah, slippery or on Anika.
And they
Well,
both.
so just they'll all heal.
Yeah, you didn't tick them right yet, Sally, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. So they'll
So
both clear their
everybody
level
gets
3s.
1, right? Just
Yeah.
to start. So they'll
Yeah.
automatically heal.
Right, okay.
Tatanika
Good.
has three full. Wait, does Tatanika have reds as?
God damn it! I think.
Yeah,
empties?
no, Tatanika got reversed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
She
Sorry,
took
wait,
a bunch
I'm
of
gonna
damage in the last one. She definitely doesn't have ticks.
I unmarked them.
So we can.
So a lot of people heal level 3 harm just with a 1 regular rest.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slippery Peter shot in the butt.
So can I update on Anika since I have the
Yeah.
thing
clear
open?
it.
Okay.
I'm updating nothing right now.
Okay.
Anything.
So we can send on Anika, definitely. She just has 1 level 2 harm, and Slippery Peter has a level 2 and a level 1, so that's still fieldable in a secondary.
And then Arun and Red Raging are both in fighting shape.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay,
Nice.
so we just needed to spend the 1.
Adhikar will actually clear himself as well.
Oh, good. Yeah, I can't see him.
Good
So
job,
are you
buddy.
doing that, Shane?
Good job.
Would you like me to?
Well, if
Will
you
that
have it open,
save-
yes,
will
but
that
if
save you
not,
time?
don't worry about it.
Wait, he
Well-
fixes his sucking chest wound?
Oh.
Nice. You know why? His faith in his goddess. She's protecting him. His tiny roadside goddess.
Let's see who else here.
Cool.
So do we know who the mercy is going to go to?
We
Don't
might
need it-
not
we don't need to?
use her, actually. Yeah, I
I don't think
She
she
was
fixes
so
anybody.
ready.
Yeah. I mean, it can start towards another person, but no one else is at level 3, and that's the most
Fine.
important thing.
I mean,
So,
yeah. She could help. She could like make a dent in Tatanika, but
Mhm.
not much of one. Or help one of the dents that's
Yeah.
in Tatanika.
Okay. Now.
You can't fix the one in Tatanika's soul.
Yeah.
That's true. That one's there to stay, sadly.
Okay, so we're not boosting this heal then?
We are not
No.
boosting the healers.
Right, we're boosting the
Okay.
Liberty.
Yeah.
Cool.
Boosting Liberty, rest and recuperation, and then we're going to acquire an alchemist
Yes.
who is going to be. I'm coming up with a name right now. Sorry. Let's do Ruben.
Josh Long. Oh, okay.
Don't we have to acquire assets?
Yeah.
Oh
need
yeah,
to
I have to
roll for that
I need to
first.
roll for it.
So
Um,
Ash will then send Antoinette to help, which
Okay.
is Sorry, not to help. She's going to blackmail people. She will bribe or threaten as needed. So add a die to the acquire assets roll.
Okay.
Ooh.
What's the asset rating for Eastlake?
The asset rating is 3.
So I roll 4 die.
Wow.
Yeah, because you add 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and then you are acquiring them is a standard quality in this town.
Okay, so I rolled a 5.
Cool.
4
So
fives.
that gets you a standard quality resource. So that's actually very helpful. You get a full uncorrupted alchemist by the name of
Ruben.
Ruben. Okay.
Welcome, Ruben.
You guys remember Ruben?
Sounds too much like Rudy. I don't like it.
Okay.
Ruden.
Ruben.
Rubenaire.
Is it an action to use the alchemist, or no? They just do a thing. Kind of like laborers.
Correct.
They should do a thing.
You were working on your
We are working on armor piercing
Oh,
black
yeah.
shot. So that.
So laborers bump that up 1. We don't even have to work on it, right? Do we have to?
Laborers can't work on that because
This is an alchemist.
Oh,
thing.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were waiting. Actually, Strauss was like, "Don't use your alchemist up yet. Get a second one,
Yeah.
and then they can tag team."
So I've never done this before. Do I have to do any rolling for this, or is it just they get corrupted and I mark on the?
Yeah, it's a roll.
You definitely roll.
Okay.
So you. Sorry, my cat.
Yeah. Climbing all over you.
Okay, so you'll roll dice equal to the number of alchemists in the Legion, as a long-term project. Then you'll roll the same number of dice for corruption.
Okay.
The better you roll on that corruption.
Wait. Did you roll already? Hold on.
No.
Don't tell me. I haven't looked yet.
Okay.
I can send a spy to help, which is they bribe or threaten somebody who can assist.
Like maybe an Orite who hasn't fully trained as an alchemist.
Yeah,
but
or it could
has
even just
enough?
be an alchemist that we didn't recruit.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
do we want that? Do we feel like we need that?
I already rolled, so I'm like,
Oh, okay.
I was like, I
Well,
can't
well,
answer this in good faith.
All right. Well, I will send Crimson Vexing,
Okay.
who's very persuasive. So that'll add an extra die. I do not know if that was necessary or helpful.
Okay.
It'll help with the corruption either way because it's 2 separate rolls.
Okay. So I rolled a 2, 4, and a 4.
Okay.
Okay.
So the result on the long-term project is 2 ticks.
Woohoo!
So does that complete it?
No.
Okay.
We're like
But
3 ticks.
we're 1 tick away.
Okay.
Okay.
And now roll them again, and that will determine the amount of corruption that you have
So
to deal with.
3d6, 4, 4, 5.
That's okay. You'll take 2 corruption, which you can split among either one of their clocks.
Or just give them
okay.
to the fresh one.
Oh, yeah, I did,
Depending.
because Ruben, now they're equal. 2, 2. So
Perfect.
Ruben, Callum's like pushing him further.
Put this stuff in
closer.
the thing.
Yeah,
you do it.
you do it now.
Okay.
Okay. Whew.
Cool.
We're so close to that black shot.
Yeah, that piercing black shot. That would be awesome. Oh, those stupid knights. Urgh, those heartless.
Actually, so Rudy, did you tick the time clock?
I did not. Time passes.
Okay, so let's
That's
start
right.
with
Because
that.
we
Time
haven't rolled
passes.
to advance. Oh, right.
Cool.
Just
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
time passes every round. Yeah.
Definitely gonna hit the next thing.
Like right now?
No.
Oh,
One
and the
more.
next advance.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Perfect. It's not like I drew the map for that or anything. Okay, so then we have done all our campaign actions, correct?
Yes.
I will send Egrid to interrogate. So when we get to intel questions, we will have some.
Okay, cool.
I want to spend an intel now, so we have a special mission. Or wait, I don't know if this is metagaming, but like, are we gonna go on? Would we have another required mission? Do you think?
You should not do that just because, like, if you look at your clock, like how much time is left in this march, and Zora just leveled up, so it's unlikely you're going to get 4 favor missions.
I'm more
before you
interested
get to
in a
Skydagger.
special artifact or something like that as
Okay.
mission reward.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, you can spend it if you would like to.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend it.
Cool.
Spend your resources. That's why you have them.
That's the one thing that gives you interest, though.
Well, we have the Spymaster thing. So.
No, I know. Okay, cool. So that's all the campaign actions then, right?
Yes.
So now, Zora will also. That is the 4th glory mission that you have completed for Zora, and she will also gain a new ability. And I'm open to 2 things that I think make sense for you. One is Sacred Seals. All Legionnaires gain special armor versus magical effects. I think that makes a lot of sense given that you have the Star Fox now, like, traveling with you, right? Like, it could help unlock that sort of protection.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think makes a lot of sense for you specifically is Heart of Heroes. All Legionnaires add the XP trigger if you engaged a higher threat opponent by yourself.
By yourself?
Yeah. If we do that, that means either Tatanika's attacking someone, or we're playing wrong. Or does that mean including so? I'm thinking of Ananika last session. She was alone in that she was the only PC, but there were other people around her. Would that have counted then?
I don't think that would have counted for Ananika last session.
Okay.
It definitely would have counted for Tatanika last session.
Sure.
I think group actions are our bread and butter.
Yeah, I think so too.
True, yeah.
The other thing that I think makes a lot of sense, given how you have interacted with Zora, is Living God's Fury, which the quartermaster may spend religious supply before an assault to add +1 die on the engagement. Legionnaires equip both reliquaries and Blackshot. Given that you have utterly rejected religious supply as even a base consideration, I didn't really consider that, but if you would like, I will put that on the table as well. I think that also makes like story sense for you.
I really like the Sacred Armor, especially because as we're at the end of the game, we're probably going to be facing lieutenants and specials and things like that. So I think magic, which hasn't been too much of a thing we've encountered, will start being a real thing.
I think the undead count as magic.
So if like an undead smacks me, that counts? Yes, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Shane.
Okay.
If I get punched by a Knight of the Black Oak, that should count as armor against magic.
It should.
I mean, it's magic holding them together. So
As we say, Rudy, we play to find out.
This breaks my verisimilitude.
But I really like that idea, especially because we are still kind of beat up. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Yeah, magic armor sounds great.
Love magic armor.
Same.
Magic Star
Favorite
Fox
kind of armor.
Can we call it Peppy armor?
No.
No, we're not doing that. No more Star
Definitely.
Fox references.
Definitely, it's called Peppy armor. It's
Also,
canon.
Greymane calls it a space fox.
He
Yeah.
does.
Just to
Sally,
be like
we had to
a
teach you what Star
cantankerous.
Fox was. You can't make references to Star Fox.
I'm in on it.
She's already
She's on the
digested-
Wikipedia.
Yeah,
right?
she's already read the whole week of
She knows the whole
Yeah.
cast.
I'm deep in the lore now.
She played the 1983 Star Fox.
Oh wait, that was unrelated. Atari only. Okay, so let's do an advanced roll then.
Come on, Rudy.
Do we gain a pressure too, in addition to time, just from?
Yeah, so that's
But that
sorry.
gets that gets
That's
canceled out.
time passes.
Okay, so
you didn't complete a mission that stopped pressure. No, you did. Sorry. Yeah, you absolutely did. That was.
One of the rewards.
oh, it was
I'm double checking. It has been a reward in the past.
Yes.
It was.
I remember that it was.
It was not a reward this time.
okay. So we're at 1, which gets reduced to 0 because of Zora.
That sounds correct. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I'm rolling. We're looking to roll low. Here we go. No bonus dice. I have rolled a 1. No, and a 4. Why did I roll twice? Oh, that's right.
Because you rolled 0.
We're at 0. It's like it's
2
like,
dice disadvantage.
So it is 1, which means only 1 tick, which still feels that second clock.
All right, Rudy, flip the map, please. Let's look at Panyar burning.
Let's. Aha! Oh wow. Yep. That's a burning map.
So as you march out of Eastlake, you find that the entire front is collapsing. The Cinder King has, I think we talked about last time, the Cinder King was driving through Panyar and attempting to burn the entire nation, burn the forest itself, which had sort of led to a loss of organization along the siege of Westlake, as well as like the pursuit of the Horned One and Shreya in the north. Like, so you see now, like, there are just pockets of territory that are basically being occupied by the Cinder King's troops, but not necessarily formed into a neat front advancing across the land any longer. So Panyar, not looking good. But you have a path to Fort Callisto. You're able to beat that out, and you might have to fight your way to the next stop along the path, right? Either the high road or the mall, but there's still a chance.
Still, those mountains staying strong though. Good thing we talked to that mercenary bandit captain. She's holding it down in the mountains, it looks like. Cool. We'll go live there if things don't work out.
Yeah. Yeah, there are pockets, like the Cinder King isn't conquering the lake either.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we should go live in the Gap.
We can be Okay, so we're traveling.
Yeah. So we did the boosted rest and recuperate, right? Which is good.
No, we did the boosted liberty.
Well, we did the boosted liberty, and then we rest and recuperated. Yeah.
Sorry, that's what I meant. So you did the boosted liberty, which is of course typically how you relieve stress. And over time, like as you kind of like are making camp and starting to sort of ship out, right? Like as the nights are passing, as you're marching 20 miles a day, as you were trying to stay ahead here and march on to Fort Callisto to find the Horned One, you realize something. Those nightmares that you've been having, those terrors that are awakening people in the middle of the night, that are sort of disturbing everyone's rest, that is stressing out the Legion, like they are going away. After 6 or 7 days, like it's fitful sleep, but there's no one waking up screaming anymore. And a couple more days pass, and like now it's not quite restful, but it's quiet. And by the second week, it is like the magic is gone. The Legion is no longer suffering that struggle. So weird.
Good weird, but weird.
The other thing is, as you start to pack up your stuff and break camp, Commander, one of the members of the Anointed, one of the priests of the Anointed, kind of walks into camp and sees you, I think, probably starting to break down your tent, and kind of walks up to you and he says, "Excuse me, Commander, what is it that you're doing now?"
We're on the move.
The move to where? We've given you plenty of space here.
Unfortunately, we cannot remain here. We have to continue moving onwards.
I'm sorry?
You have my apologies, but there's something greater at stake.
You're abandoning us.
We're tactically retreating.
You're leaving us to die. You committed to defending us, and you have broken that commitment.
I don't say anything.
Excuse me? Sir, this is not acceptable.
You have my apologies, truly. But as I said, there's something greater happening right now, and we are the marshals of this.
This is unacceptable.
You may tell my superior, I say.
I will tell everyone who will listen. This is an embarrassment. This is a betrayal. This is an injustice. You are bad. You are bad people. You have given us hope and then dashed it. And he's like growing increasingly frustrated. And he
does he have a weapon?
No. But he does kind of like charge at you in that sort of like ineffective way of like somebody who is like lived behind a desk.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Greymane is like a pretty big, like,
yeah, I'm a career soldier. Yeah,
career soldier. Yeah. So he like charges into you with like his fists up like this and just tries to like shove you and just bounces off and ends up sort of like knee deep in the mud.
Could Mal like hear the commotion and come over?
Oh, for certain. He's shouting. He's trying to make a scene.
Okay.
And I think at this point, like, there's laughter around the camp as some of the rookies and like the squads that are, you know, sweating from having to pack all this stuff that they've just unshipped, like, are now kind of like seeing this whole scene play out. And it's just like they are hardened and cold soldiers.
I glare daggers at them for laughing. I did commit to this town. I said that I would help build defenses. I wanted to make use of their laborers to build us siege weapons and help them protect it and use this as a kind of... I figured it'd fall. You know, it's going to fall eventually. But this was going to be a major slowing point of the Cinder King that we could use as escaping. And maybe some of their people could have gotten out. And now we're leaving because of spacewalks. So I feel bad. Don't laugh at this guy. I'm ready to help him up and let him punch me with his little puny desk man arms. But if Mal wants to do something, I'm cool with that. But that's what I'm about to do.
Yeah, well, I think Mal is like used to being like interjecting himself diplomatically when Greymane is being gruff and potentially like alienating people, because Mal is like a very mannered type of dude. So first Mal's gonna like I think walk very briskly, but staying like, you know, fully comported, walk up to the two of them, but also turn to everyone else and be like, as you were, the time is of the essence. Keep packing up. There's nothing to see here. And then I think I'm gonna gently put myself in between Greymane and this dude and just look at him and like go to shake his hand with like two hands, you know, that like extra friendly handshake.
He's still on the ground.
Oh, he's on the ground.
Yeah,
okay,
I think he's still on the ground.
I'll reach down and I'll help him up, and I'll say,
"He'll take your hand."
My good man, apologies for the misunderstanding. Perhaps we could talk this out and let the tempers cool a bit.
I don't think there's anything else to say unless you intend to say that you'll be here and defend us the way that you've promised.
Unfortunately, in wartime, we can't always keep our promises. And it pains me to say that this is one of those times. What my commander here was trying to tell you is that the Corps has to follow a purpose that we believe is greater for all of us. This isn't just about you and your town. This is about all of us, all of the towns and all of the people. And we have to make a lot of hard decisions. And this is one of the hard decisions that we have to make. And, you know, we both apologize. Of course, I know that's cold comfort at this moment, but I hope that when time passes and you realize the importance of what we're doing and the effect it's going to bring about, you'll understand why we're doing what we're doing.
Well, far be it from me to speak on behalf of the gods, but perhaps they will have mercy on you. I cannot offer you any forgiveness, sir. And he turns to storm off. And I think there's still some snickering from some of the troops that are, you know, able to overhear it. You've certainly de-escalated it.
I'm making a mental note of every rookie that's snickering, and they're going to be on
latrine duty.
Until further notice.
There's going to be a lot of KP.
The latrines are going to be soups clean.
Ash mutters to nobody, but loud enough so that everyone can hear, as he sort of stares out east. Every home burns.
Yeah, so I think we'll cut to the scene of, banners raised, company on the march as you're leaving Eastgate through like these finely manicured cobblestone streets and these like beautiful architecture. And there is remember, there's a like mechanical clock tower that sits proudly in the center that you have to march right through as you're leaving. And just like when you came in and you were heralded as saviors, the townsfolk now are gathered to watch. But unlike when they were cheering you on the way in, they're now kind of hissing you, and you hear in the crowd, demons, devils, betrayers. They're accusing you. Some of them like are so bold as to spit on the ground in front of you. But soon enough, you're free from Eastlake, and you are marching towards Fort Callisto. And
I hope they give the undead just as much vitriol.
Yeah.
Godspeed.
Maybe spit is effective and we just didn't know. Like maybe that's the secret to defeating the undead.
Saliva.
Yeah.
And
We were riding horses.
some of you were.
Oh yeah, what does our horses count at? Sorry, I meant to ask.
Horses.
Don't know how we missed that. That's usually my first question.
No horses.
No.
We have 0 horses.
You have just enough for the command staff and other various dignitary to ride on. Not enough to deploy.
Does Zora have a horse? Like a
Oh,
super
of course
fancy
Zora
horse?
has a horse. Come
Or
on, yeah.
Normal horse.
Zora's
or
like
fancy
in a
horse?
litter, probably.
Yeah, you have a horse too. You have a Firemane, don't you?
I think I got one.
I think you got one
there
in a trade
Yeah.
from
I think
the camp.
the quartermaster assistant got us a bunch. That's right, she did. She was very,
Yeah,
scary.
the sun. You had one from the Sunstriders.
Mm-hmm.
And so actually, like, probably an hour up the road, at a steady pace, you hear hoofbeats galloping up behind you, Greymane, and a familiar voice in your ear.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Commander, I like the way you handled that man. I am proud of the way you comport yourself, even when there are difficult decisions to be made.
What is what is the title we said we call her?
Your Grace.
Your Grace. I think the sort of more derisive sort of like nickname for her is the Fire or the Flame.
Yeah, I don't call her.
But to her face, I think
yeah.
you call her Your Grace.
Yeah, I just say thank you, my Grace.
Perhaps you will keep your emotions in check now as we face more difficult decisions, since you know the burden.
I will try, my Grace.
Very well. We are a few weeks' march away, but we must remain prepared. We could be attacked at any moment. We do not know what we will face when we get there. Intelligence at this point is sparse.
Okay.
And she'll ride off.
Just like Zora.
I didn't quit it. Is she coming with us to the next place?
Oh yeah, she's marching with you.
Cool.
I mean, she's not, next to you the whole time, but yeah, she's and you're not the only necessarily like troop formation that's moving with her. But you are certainly, like, you've always been her standard bearers, right? Okay. So any other scenes you guys want to see before we get to Fort Callisto?
No, I'm good.
I think
Go ahead.
it's not a scene that I want to see, but I think probably there's a rotating contingent of Panyar who
Yeah, I
are
was gonna
basically
ask.
forming like a phalanx around the Star Fox. It's probably actually pretty spread out, so it's not quite so obvious. Like, hey, attack us here.
Yeah, like I would give them permission to break rank. If there's a Panyara, you can leave your squad and help protect the Star Fox along with your countrymen.
So the priestess, Silver Whispering Wind, is still like carrying the Star Fox in her satchel, right? But in terms of like, maybe it's easier to move like which squad she's riding with or walking with. I don't know. Would you probably give her like a mule to ride on?
Definitely.
So yeah. So I mean, you can probably do that where different squads will ride with her as her bodyguards. I think it probably hurts Sapphire a little bit that he.
That's right. I'll give him special permission to stay with it. How about that? He gets special permission to stay with it. He can leave his squad and bounce along with her because, yeah, I think I'm sorry, is this Sapphire, is she a warrior at all or no?
He.
No, I'm not Sapphire. Sorry, the priest holding the Star Fox. Silver. Thank you.
So yeah, Silver Whispering is not a warrior.
Okay, yeah. So I would definitely want to assign a dedicated bodyguard.
Maybe even like Red Raging, since
the
only two. There's like 3 Panyar left.
I definitely think
four.
Ash likes that. She has anchor, so.
I think Azure definitely would be trying to get as much time around the Star Fox as possible, asking questions about it, like, what does it eat? How did you find it? Where did it come from?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, she'll tell you a little bit. It eats just what foxes eat. Like grubs
rice?
And rice. They eat actually pretty much anything. And it found me. I didn't find it, but I was moving. Like I was leaving my home to go support some of the soldiers, and it found me one night in that sickly glow of the moon on a night where it was just the slightest sliver, and it found me and it brought light.
Have you seen it do anything unusual for a fox?
Well, I mean, it stays in my satchel almost all day long. I mean, no, it'll get out, and like at night, it's been a couple days, so like at night you have seen like in a tent, it will get out and it will like kind of, actually not unlike my cat, like climb on her shoulders,
Gotcha.
right, and it will like kind of lay across her shoulders, or like it will, but it doesn't go far. It stays very close, and like at the sign of anything, it will leap into her arms and back into the satchel.
So this is Azure talking to her, asking, so I heard that, when you guys got back from the mission, they were talking about what was happening, and it made a grove of trees seem like a forest. Do you know, like, does it do anything before it does stuff, or is it just completely docile and there's nothing like emanating from it or a feeling? Or
I feel things emanating from it. I can feel its power. Don't you feel calm when you're around it?
A little.
Have you?
A little calm.
Don't you sleep a little better? Doesn't the night seem a little less scary?
Oh, I thought it was the Juicero. I was drinking so much.
I thought it was because I'm blackout drunk every night these days.
I'm drunk right now.
Well, I day drink, so.
It's constantly canteen. Somehow I've got a coconut. It's like just constantly drinking.
I thought it was Dream Moss overdose.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, wrong character. Azure smoking.
Amber, I think. Yeah. What do you think about this? I think that Azure and Arun have occasionally done like a buddy comedy thing where she's very interested in something and she's like, "Can you come here and just look at it?" with the
yes.
The alchemical eye.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Arun, like, friendly and interested, just like, yeah, I'll go look at this thing. I'll go look at it. Yeah. What does Arun see?
What's the rule for the eye?
He sees. Hold on, let me pull up Sniper. It is supernatural. Here it is. You can see invisible targets clearly and identify supernatural forces. Creatures such as the shades that lurk within shadow witches and the supernatural effects like their hexes are plainly visible to you. Just because you can see it doesn't mean you know what you're looking at.
So yes and no is sort of the answer. It doesn't actually, like, when you describe it, or I guess you can close that eye and look through your normal eye, like, it doesn't actually look any different. And yet you can plainly tell that it's supernatural. Like, this is not just a normal fox with a strange coat, because if you remember, like, its coat is like black as midnight, but it has those little pinpricks of light, like the night sky. And like, it looks that way with both of your sights, except that when you look through it with the alchemical eye, like, it looks magical in the way that, like, the rest of the world is maybe a little dim. It looks identical.
It shines, I guess, is probably the best I can say.
Okay, Silver.
I think that's a good thing.
Silver.
Feels like a good thing.
So I don't want to offend you, but do you think it would be possible if I could take some of its blood? Says Azure.
Just going for it. Just going for it. I love it. Not like fur. Not like.
I mean, you asked the hard thing first, right?
I guess.
Then you scale back.
Sure,
If I could take some of its blood.
Like,
just
maybe
one
its
paw.
liver, perhaps.
Give me sway.
Whoa! Wait, Claudette doesn't have. Oh no, this is Azure. Sorry.
Yeah, this is Azure.
I think
Claudette wouldn't want her.
I think only Azure is, like, genuine enough in this request to make the request, but we'll see how it goes.
So I have nothing in sway, and I rolled a critical 6-6.
Oh, are you serious?
Oh.
Yes.
But if
so
you have
can't-
no, you only take the
can't
highest.
crit.
Yeah, you
Oh, right. I
can't
take
crit
it, yeah.
with
Oh,
with
dang
zero.
it, that's
Still
right. But I
six,
got
so-
6.
Yeah.
But it's still a 6. And Silver looks at you. Silver Whispering Wind looks at you like you have a third eye. But when you say this, like, the fox's head kind of, like, peeks up out of the satchel, and, like, nuzzles you a bit. And you just know, like, there's no reason you know this except that you just know that, like, tonight by the moonlight, it will let you do that.
Yes. Oh, let's inject all of the soldiers with this.
Everybody gets a drop.
Like reverse cinder blood.
Yes. Yes. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah. Azure doesn't say this out loud. It's just like intense vibration.
And, like,
Put it into Juicero.
Silver doesn't say anything,
Yeah.
but shrugs and says, I guess.
Well, thank you.
I-
This is awesome.
I had nothing to do with this. I don't make its decisions.
I mean, thank you for sharing your story with me and everything. And yeah, so thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for protecting us.
And then Azure is like immediately in notes, like is just completely lost, like writing stuff down and like everything.
Sweet.
So excited for Foxblood.
Any other scenes from this march?
I, as Greymane, am just going to check and see that I still have that gun that Ash gave me that has the super killer round.
The
Crimson shot,
Crimson
right?
Seeker
Crimson
shell,
yeah.
which you need to pour your own blood into in order for it to work. Or maybe fox blood.
Oh!
Twist.
Okay. So no.
Star
that,
Fox
huh?
gets a trauma. Sorry, buddy. Ooh, reckless Star Fox. Oh my God, Tatanika, Star Fox, a killer horse. It's gonna be amazing.
Now
that's
Turret
a
on the
great
horse.
comedy.
Oh yeah, the turrets. I forgot about the turrets.
So many plans abandoned so quickly.
Can we get an armor piercing turret? Maybe.
Okay, so I think we should cut forward a couple weeks, right? So we already talked a little bit about what the map looks like and how the front has collapsed, that it's sort of fighting in all directions as you get closer to Fort Callisto. Or actually, I guess as you get further away, like that's the reports that you're getting are just sort of the hot spots breaking out all over the place and not really an organized front. And if you look at the map, you can see that you actually cross a little bit through Durkesh Forest. And when you're in that forest, I think this is when like some of the like that power of like the calm and things like that really sort of settle in for you. Where like you kind of like the first night in the forest, you have actually like a blissful sleep. Like everyone is, sleeping in bedrolls and on the ground and things like that. And travel weary, and Zora's not letting you let up on training. You've got a lot of new soldiers to integrate into your ranks, but you go to bed and like you sleep very comfortably, like you're home, like that good of a sleep.
Once we're in the forest, Ash dismounts and he's walking from now on, and people can see that he's barefoot. He's basically trying to soak up as much like forest as he can, because the other one's gone.
Filthy hobbitses.
He has scaly feet.
Oh.
Somehow worse. Okay, so it's only a day or two march across. The forest is relatively safe for you to move through, but when you finally break out of the forest, like the first time the sky opens up overhead, is the first time that you can actually start to see Fort Callisto. Even from the edge of the forest, you can see the silhouette of the fort kind of standing defiantly in the distance, amid this like cloud of smoke and ash, against this like setting sun. As you've gotten closer, I think some of the sort of the normal like kind of banter with the units that you're marching with, the different regiments from different nations. You've heard rumors. The Bartons probably can tell you rumors that it's got 30-foot high stone walls. And sure enough, like you can see them, I think with the spyglass and things like that. Like you can see like, yep.
Those are fine, spyglass.
those walls, they're really 30 feet tall. That wasn't an understatement, or an overstatement rather. But what they didn't tell you was that the fort is also built on like a 30-foot mound of earth, effectively meaning you've got to climb 60 feet to even get to the top of the wall. Like this is a very imposing fortress. It makes a lot of sense why this has been sort of the meeting point for all of the armies coming through. From the distance, it looks like an unassailable fortress, and yet the legions of the dead are clearly there besieging it, right? There's the smoke, there's the ash, there's like the sort of the detritus that floats in the sky when these battles continue. And then over the fort directly, like where you are is a beautiful, blue sky. I guess it's getting chilly now as the seasons continue to shift, but it's a pretty fall day. But over the storm is this over the fort is this blighting green storm that's kind of casting this glow upon it. And you can see like it's very active with like rain. You can see that cloud like kind of over it. You also see like it's lighting up with this sickly thunder, and this lightning that's sort of disgusting. Clearly unnatural, right? Like the fortress is being battered by, I mean, there's only one person who does that, right? It's clearly Stormbreaker's forces are here before you.
Great. So they're blocking the way to the fort.
And yeah, I guess we should move into mission phase, huh? So Rudy, I'm going to go ahead and refund your intel.
Thank you.
Because you don't get a choice in this one.
Yeah.
Special rule for Fort Callisto.
Gotcha.
So the actual special rule is when you advance to Fort Callisto, complete the following mission. There is no secondary mission this mission phase.
Oh, well, that's good at least.
So the fort is under siege, like literally is being besieged, and every day like more troops are fighting and dying, and every day more dead are arriving.
Don't worry, there's a cook inside. Okay.
So the special rule for Fort Callisto when you get there is if you do not acquire a route out of the fort, possibly from some smugglers, missions outside the fort are at -1 die to engagement rolls, and the Legion cannot advance. So you will need to figure out like how to safely get out of the fort.
Does it say from smugglers or as from smugglers? Like, is that just one option?
That's one option. Yeah. I mean, we'll deal with that when we get in, but first you got to get there, right?
Okay.
And anyway, so this mission. So to get into the fort, you will need to break the siege. The best way to do that is to hit the undead in a position and force them to shift their troops to defend, while the Legion makes a break out of the forest and into a side gate. Whatever the undead are preparing for the walls, whatever this ritual is that they're in progress, looks like a good target. So
Special armor.
Zora comes to you and says, as usual, I will lead some troops to stall them at this position, and you will be able to take care of this ritual. And hopefully enough of our troops will make it inside.
She's stalling the ritual?
She's distracting from the stall, which is also distracting from...
Right, so
yeah.
She says, there are broken here. I will take care of broken.
Ah! Sorry.
Cool.
You have not heard from Blighter at all, though you know that Blighter was pursuing Shreya in the north. And obviously Stormbreaker is here in some capacity, right?
Where are we on, like, our mission right now? Like, our overarching mission is find the Horned One and hand over the Star Fox, right? Do we have an idea of where the Horned One is, or where we're looking for the Horned One?
You do
or
not.
Is that like on the way, but beyond this?
So that is a fair question. I think that is an intel question for this mission. This mission needs to happen either way.
Okay.
And we could talk about that in campaign phase afterwards. I think more urgently is like you have a bunch of troops that you need to get inside this fortification. Even if the Legion doesn't go inside, that is maybe a thing that we can figure out if that's what you want to do. You still have to do this mission because you need to get the other troops marching with you inside to reinforce the fort, right?
Yeah.
So this is an assault mission, Shane?
This is an assault mission, and it also, I know I told you not to worry about it, Rudy, but it is a glory mission.
Oh. Well, that's
so
good.
You will actually tick another clock for Zora. Oh, actually, so the rewards here are -1 time and
we'll go back in
+3
time.
morale.
Panyar will unburn.
Well, no, I mean,
'cause
you'll
we'll
advance time
cancel
anyway,
time.
right? And pressure does not increase.
Okay. That's good. So even if we mess up and fail, we can...
Do we have to assign a squad to go with Zora, or is that sort of like just hand waved?
No. She is going to make her own distraction to ensure that there's no broken that is going to interrupt your, like, basically, like, you can with the spyglass you can see like there is some type of ritual being completed here that is sustaining the storm. There are also like the construction of siege weapons is happening, right? Like, so towers and mantlets and like trebuchets and things like that, like the things that you need, like building giant earthworks and stuff, the things that you need to besiege a city are underway out here. If you can buy time by sabotaging that and interrupting this ritual, right? Like, you can...
Let's just steal the siege weapons.
I mean,
hitch into
we got
horses.
a couple horses, yeah.
I think what more people should do is just move those towers up to the walls and just lift them over, you know? Then you have your own siege towers.
I think Red Raging can. Does she have that insane ability?
I think what you're looking for is actually defensive weapons.
Oh, okay.
Having siege towers maybe not so useful.
Okay. So assault requires the officer or the heavy, correct?
Yeah. So
Assault is heavy, medic, or sniper.
Oh, sniper. Okay.
So there's a couple things about this mission. It requires horses, and if the Legion has an alchemist, the engagement roll is at +1 die.
But
We
we
don't
don't
have
have any
horses.
horses. Oh no!
Oh.
It's okay. We'll even out the
Is
die.
that an autofail
sitch.
or
No,
do we
is
lose
it
a die?
do
No,
we just fail?
it's not an auto fail. So there's one of the engagement questions is
engagement
do you
die.
have all required
Oh.
resources?
Okay.
Because it'll
and so-
just even out.
Yeah, so I think like you don't actually have to worry about the specialists you assign either because you just won't have the resources. Whether you don't have any of them or don't have all of them is the same.
That's
It's
not
still
a separate question. I think that's a
I
separate.
thought it was a separate question.
Double check them. I mean, you have the sheet.
Oh,
But
here's
also
a
these-
question from Antioxidant in chat. Can I cheer you a horse?
Oh.
So the 500 donation is add one supply or asset to logistics resource. Or
Yeah, you could. You
So-
could choose some horses.
Antioxidant.
Just saying you could.
Antioxidant.
Just saying you
Give
could.
me horses.
Make some
Yeah.
horses with alchemy.
Oh yeah. Oh, if I
is
take fox
A ROM
blood
suggestion.
Fox blood injected
Plus
in
to human
Great.
equal horse.
Oh, Shane, you're right. It's specialists and equipment.
Yeah.
It's the same one.
It's all wrong question.
Same question.
We got horses.
Got horses. Thank you so much.
Is antioxidant mother of horses now?
Yes.
Thank you, mother of horses.
Horse Zaddy.
Horse Zaddy.
Though the name of the horse shall be Shade Fallow, says Antioxidant.
Okay.
Okay.
The lead horse, the
The lead
best
horse.
horse.
I love it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So actually, hey, that's wonderful. So I think what happens with this is that the night before, as you're kind of getting to the edge of the forest, right? Horses started showing up in your camp.
Oh.
Like and like some of them had different like bits of kit on them, right? Like they were clearly like the horses that were just sort of orphaned by war, right? Their riders had died and they had survived. And they weren't recovered by anybody, and they were just sort of free roaming. But they were drawn to your camp, almost as if by some small natural magic.
Let me change my tune on the fox.
It's a shame that the word orphan doesn't really work. But oh well.
Not what you think it is. Okay, so you now have horses. So I guess you should equip the right legionnaires.
Okay.
Sweet. So, heavy, sniper, or medic.
Let's take them all. Those are our
We
three.
could
good-
take them all.
We got no secondaries. Those are our three most healthy
Mhm.
Yep.
specialists. Let's just take them all. And did we ever sign Barton's corporal abilities?
2 extra
No.
dots and something.
I
She
thought it was
has
two special
has-
abilities, right?
No, she has one
Oh.
special ability
Oh,
and 2
okay.
extra dots.
Okay.
How does that work? Does she get added to a squad or something?
Yeah, so she's just a soldier, but she's a soldier who's already got advances. Basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like
Significant
treat her
advances.
as like you're creating a new character.
Okay.
But that character is a soldier who has 2 extra dots and 1. So basically, she has 2 special abilities, and I think was it 6 dots then?
Yeah.
Well, the Ember
Very
Wolves
strong.
need one more person to complete their squad, so we could assign them and put her on there if we want.
Yeah. This
So
works for me, too.
Ash will like sort of command cadres together. You're sort of staring at this storm, and he'll sort of think for a second and say, "Do we want to look at Adhikar to send on this mission because he seems to have some ability to hold darkness at bay."
Hmm.
Adhikar.
He took the advance against the darkness. He and all squad mates that can see him gain a die to resist fear and corruption.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Plus, everyone will have special armor.
Wait, Adhikar Khatri did that?
Hmm He took a veteran advance. It's a heavy ability.
Oh, I see it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, way at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, he can round
Okay,
it out, yeah.
Adhikar.
So that's
With reinforced miter.
Arun, Azure, Adhikar, and Red Raging. Yeah?
Wait.
And the Ember Wolves, or
So adding Adhikar to the Emberwolves, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah, swapping someone out.
yeah.
Well, there's only 4, so we
Oh.
actually need to swap someone in anyway.
Okay.
But then we can also, if you want, we can swap the Barton in for someone else.
That's true.
The
Maybe
squads
Sapphire.
aren't. So we're still playing, musical chairs with the squads. They're not like, I know one of the questions that we have is that how is morale, or like how do they trust us? We're still cool, right, Shane? Like listening to the complaints. Is it I hate constantly being moved around, or just regular soldier griping?
Actually, I think that's a fair question. I don't want to just hit you with a penalty for that out of the blue. So let's create a clock for that.
Sure, that makes sense.
Okay.
And let's tick it twice. Once because we have been swapping people around, and because there are like literally 25% of the Legion was not here before Eastlake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one is for the response that you got marching out of Eastlake.
Okay, yeah.
That makes sense.
Maybe like Sapphire Dancing Tide will offer to like sit this one out because he wants to stay with the Star Fox. And maybe that's like it still affects the other 3 Ember Wolves. So it's maybe not without penalty, but
yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, I think given like what we described of Sapphire on the last mission, like I definitely think his personal loyalty has shifted away from his squad and maybe away from the Legion entirely. So not sending him is probably a good move. Though I think there's probably is a little bit of resentment.
and it probably messes with like the cohesion of the squad just because like you get used to working with someone and then they get swapped out.
Yeah, for sure.
How many ticks is this unhappy squad's clock?
It's a 4 clock and Mark 2.
Okay.
I mean, it shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
well,
like pretty.
Any good commander wants to keep his troops happy.
Sure.
So are we swapping in Adhikar as well as so we're adding one and then swapping in one. Do we want to add Adhikar and then swap out Sapphire Dancing Tide for the Corporal?
Yeah, let's just do that. And that'll give them Ember Wolves, yeah. Wait, now I'm thinking, because if they take injury, we established that if a soldier is in a squad, then they don't just all die outright, right? If they're attacked, because the soldier...
No, they do.
All right, never mind. Keep the Barton soldier out, because if the Ember Wolves are attacked... I know we have Red Raging, but if they take a damage, then the possibility of us losing that...
Can I make a suggestion that the Star Vipers have not been on a primary mission? And also their focus is alchemy and the supernatural.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
True.
So we have empty rookies there.
Yeah, you
and,
can add Adhikar and someone else.
Right.
Okay.
Not the Corporal though, Rudy.
Yeah, although we choose who dies, right? It's
Yeah.
not a die roll.
I mean,
Oh,
all the
it
other
doesn't
rookies
matter.
are armor against her death.
And if someone traumas out, they can take control of the corporal. So never mind what I just said.
Okay.
Were we about to send the Amber Wolves?
We were.
And then we're
Yeah.
switching to Star Vipers? I bet there's some grumbling.
Oh yeah. Tatsunika wants
Stop
to
trying to
get in
give
there.
us ticks, Ishin.
Oh, there's no. I mean, that tick is like I think the 2 ticks you already have are all of these things adding up, right? I think this is just representative of there are not enough bodies in the Legion to make ideal decisions.
So the Star Vipers have 2 rookies and a soldier, and we can add Adhikar and the Corporal, and then we'll have a full squad. Is that cool? Okay. I'm gonna not name them until they die or are played by someone, if that's okay.
That works.
Cool.
So you need me to add Adhikar to the Star Vipers,
Yes, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
and then who's the other one?
The Corporal.
You guys are gonna play Adhikar though, right?
Yes, because
Do you want to add just one of the other Barton soldiers instead of the corporal?
Well, no, because if someone traumas
We
out,
were just
then
saying,
someone can take over
Oh,
as
right,
her,
we have
and
specialists.
she gets all
to
those
play, too.
bonuses.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
So which specialists are we taking?
Heavy, Red Raging, Arun, and Azure.
The whole gang.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
No secondary. No chance of someone else going on a mission and dying. So
Which you're playing 4 specialists.
we're playing 3 specialists and a soldier.
Got it. Cool.
We actually have 3 soldiers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is you're sending a lot of soldiers on this mission where you're not playing them.
You're talking about in terms of XP, Shane?
I mean, I just
He's
risk.
talking about in terms of
risk.
they die with 1 hit.
Right.
They become much more fragile if we're
Yeah.
not playing them.
Like you paid 2 rookies to promote a Panyar soldier on the last mission. Like 2 rookies died to get that soldier. Like you don't want to just like
Yeah,
feed
both
that
in
soldier
rookies.
into the meat
Many
grinder.
Both in
you
rookies
know?
died.
So do you want to not take the corporal then, or Adhikar?
Yeah, I mean, my suggestion was not to take the corporal and move a different rookie into that squad.
Okay. But we're like 80% soldiers at this point, right? How many rookies do we even have left?
I mean,
We
that's
have some rookies. We have a couple on the Shattered Lions, Leavel and Theanin. Then we have
Theanin.
CNN.
yeah. We have 2 rookie Ember Wolves and 1 rookie on Grinning Ravens, whose name is Copy of Rookie.
Copy of rookie. Copia.
Junior.
Rookie Junior. All right, so what do you all think? Get rid of this corporal?
She probably needs to rest, right?
Yeah, that's fine then.
You want to move Copy of Rookie, or do you want to move? We're not really going to be able to play these rookies because we're probably all playing specialists, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
unless,
the
unless
rookies
someone traumas
are-
out, and then
yeah, the
we have
rookies
to
are armored.
switch.
all right. Do you want me to swap that like the Ghost Owl rookie in there?
Yeah. Oh, is there a Ghost Owl too?
There's a
Yeah,
Ghost
that's
Owl
perfect.
rookie. Yeah, okay. So I'll put that rookie into Star Vipers, and I'll take the corporal out.
Perfect.
Okay.
Done.
Thank you.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
it's not worth it to field all soldiers just to get 1 extra die on the engagement roll on the primary.
It's not worth it on the secondary at all because it's just too risky.
You can lose so many if you roll
You
a
lose,
1.
yeah.
But
So-
an extra die on the secondary.
That's true. That's really strong. But it's like there's other stuff. Okay.
Okay.
They can give us
okay.
bonuses.
All right. So we have the Star Vipers.
We do. I have questions to ask.
Okay.
Well, the first being that question you said we should ask.
Well, what was that question I said you should ask? I'm very wise, but I'm poor of memory.
As
Is that
am
where
I.
we should go to bring the Star Fox? I think, right?
Oh, is the Horned One even here? Because if the Horned One isn't here, there's no reason to bring the entire Legion into the fort. We should just find out
or
how
maybe
to get out
just
of here and then go around.
where's the horned one?
Yeah, okay, that's smarter. Because Zoras they have means of communicating
Yeah,
with each other.
yep.
So
So what's the intelligence question that like is the equivalent of that?
where is the Horned One? Let's see. Is there some sort of equivalent to that? I'm looking at the list. No, there's nothing specifying about Chosen.
I mean,
There's-
there are no questions about good guys.
Yes, exactly. There's only
Ah, okay.
questions about the Cinder King specifically, which we can't do because it takes 3 intel.
You can because of the spy master.
Oh, that's right.
intel,
You can ask any question. So there's a question like, what news of the Cinder King? Can we say that's what news of Horned One, and more specifically, where? Is
Yeah,
the
I mean
Horned
that is
One?
the highest level
Yeah.
question of all.
Sure. Yeah, that works.
Wait, Rudy, what level question do you get to ask?
I can ask 2 and under, and that is a 3 question. So that has to be
Okay,
your
So
question.
that's something that Egrid is beating out of somebody, and she gets 1 more.
She gets 2 questions.
Yeah, that's her specialty. She's an
Holy moly.
interrogator.
Okay. So where's the Horned One? The
Yeah.
Horned One is still in Durkesh Forest.
So can we turn
but
around?
What you so keep
Maybe
in
she'll
mind,
catch up with us. Or
Durkesh Forest.
I guess.
Look at the map, and Durkesh Forest
Yeah, it's
is
pretty
like
expensive.
due west,
Mm.
right? So like, but many of her troops have arrived in Fort Callisto already.
No, so maybe she's on her way.
Yeah. Yeah, so then then it makes sense that we get in the fort and hold it for as long as
Yeah,
possible
she's-
for us to.
She's around. She's not here, right? But
And
she's
she
not
hasn't
that
gone
far
further
away.
east. That's the big thing. Because
Not that you're
if
aware
was
of,
the
no.
We haven't
case,
missed
then-
her.
Yeah, we haven't missed her. Cool. Okay. Wow, we have so many questions to ask now.
I wouldn't say we were missing her, Bob.
Okay. Can I ask, what is a specific broken researching and have that applied to whatever this ritual is?
Nice. That's also a 3. So Egrid's
Yes.
second question.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let me look up the.
And let me
sheets.
paste in back chat all of the other questions we can ask, so everyone else can throw out.
Yeah, and I think the form of the
suggestions.
question is like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Pointing at this freaking storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
And I think Egrid will basically like, she's not nondescript. She looks very non-threatening, which is basically how she sort of slips in. And I think she is tracking down alchemists.
Okay.
Okay, this isn't formatted beautifully, but everyone check out in chat. There's the questions. Oh, that's a good quick. Who might we face in terms of infamous or lieutenant?
A useful item to bring.
Okay, so what is a broken working on researching? So actually, what you're hearing is that this storm is like you've dealt with breaker storms before, right? Like the very first mission actually rescuing Greymane was like in the midst of one of Breaker's storms. She wasn't there, but it was like one of her just broader weather control things. That wasn't a magical storm. This storm, you can see, definitely is that sickly green color to it. And what you're hearing is that she has been harassing troops with new creatures that are these sort of like twisted like imitations of life. They're like they are called transformed, but they are basically like a modification of hexed, where they sort of transmute people and animals, basically creating things like werewolves, those types of like monstrous creatures, right? And
Cool.
Yeah.
like
Super cool.
she has not quite gotten this figured out, right? Like they aren't being deployed en masse, but there is a rumor that this was inspired by a success that her research has, of an infamous called the Chimera, which is just a ghastly accumulation of various vicious animal parts. Sort of in a way that, like, as you hear it, like, kind of sounds like, you know, like there's a bit of stag in there and a bit of lion and a bit of wolf and a bit of raven in that
That's
creature.
creepy.
Like our squads.
I'm curious,
Yeah.
does Ash think this is an abomination? Do the Pawnyar think this is like a horrific monster that has ruined some of the beauty of the forest, this mishmash of creatures?
I mean, anything that Breaker does is an
That's true.
abomination.
That's a very good point.
This
But
is
is
a
this
perversion of nature. Yes, this is a
particularly
magical
offensive?
perversion.
Breaker was the chosen of Nyx.
Wow. Yeah.
Why does no one ever make a chimera of like just the back parts of the animals? That'd be so much less threatening.
Just like smooth back.
Yeah, haunches.
Gotcha.
A
Furry
haunch
tummy.
monster.
Yeah, right.
What killed you?
Uh,
This beast made of 50
I don't want
haunches.
to talk about it.
So I do just like want to be clear here that like that intelligence is not related specifically to the ritual that's going on here,
Yeah.
right? But like that kind of fell magic is part of what's powering this ritual, right?
Gotcha.
Like this is something of like a change storm rather than just like a normal storm.
Cool. We're sending in. Everybody's gonna die. It's fine.
Magic armor.
Yeah.
Magic armor.
So one of the questions is which infamous or lieutenant might we face on this mission, but we probably don't need to ask that now. That was what I had planned. If we just heard that this Chimera is here. Here we go.
No, hang on. That's what I'm
I
saying.
hear.
That is, you asked the research question.
I did.
Yeah.
Not the what's here question. That's what I was trying to make clear. Is that is not telling you that transformed are on this mission.
Gotcha.
That is what she's working on. She doesn't have that. She like literally doesn't have that ability on her sheet yet.
Gotcha.
Mostly because you just hit the turnover into the new season, and I haven't updated her sheet. So
Sure.
she will be getting
Nice.
that
Oh.
like after this campaign phase because she will get that ability. But that's the thing that she'll take next is the changing curse, which will give her transformed.
Okay. Amber, did you have a thought on one of the questions?
I mean, what would be a useful item to bring is like literally the only thing.
Yes, because how can we disrupt this ritual, right?
Yes, right.
It might be a bomb again. You know, we've good success with bombs.
It's always a bomb.
I mean, I've got chemicals.
What's useful to bring on also maybe what is the main weakness of the undead's position? Although we should make sure that that's not specifically like a strategy or troop placement question.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, let's do that. So that's question on 1 intel. What is useful to bring on this mission? And if we wanted to ask about approaches.
Yeah, maybe start with that one and see what we get.
Yeah, exactly.
A bomb is probably not going to do it for this one. Because
Dang it.
However, like alchemy knowledge would definitely be useful because you are like, this is specifically a ritual that is like some type of like change, some type of transmutation of weather, but still a transmutation. So like alchemical knowledge would be valuable.
Okay. We can back ask too.
Yeah.
So this 2 question could become a 1 question or a 0 question. Now you wouldn't say that learning about Chimera counts as seeing previously, right?
No, you haven't seen
fine.
Chimera. Chimera is just a rumor right now.
Gotcha.
Chimera might not even exist yet.
I mean, we could ask which infamous or lieutenant might we face on this mission.
Yeah.
But it does say might, so let's not do that.
I mean, come on. There's gonna be an infamous or lieutenant on this mission. Come on.
Let's ask that because that might inform whether we take like black powder or I guess they're all powder.
We know it's breaker here. Hopefully not.
Yeah, I was
also
gonna say,
render.
If it's render, we don't need to take armor piercing. We just need to focus on powder. But
yeah, it works for me. What infamous or lieutenant?
yeah.
The
What
hag.
do we face on this mission?
The hag, boom, 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 and then like a
Cool.
spooky intro. And now Shane, tell us about the hag.
The hag is a shadow witch who devoured her own coven and kept all of their power. She has a direct connection to Breaker and can actually siphon her power. And this storm, now that you've heard rumors that the hag is nearby, that makes a lot of sense. That she would be kind of manipulating the storm. The other notable thing about the hag is that she is powerful enough to maintain hexes, like multiple hexes at once. But she is a lieutenant. She is Breaker's left hand.
I think this would probably happen now too, right? We're doing as much research as we can. Adekar's not Adekar. Arun's going on the mission. What does he see with his eye? He can see shadow witches. He can see hexes, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
for sure.
nice.
He can definitely see those things.
Like around or like in the storm.
So the storm is sort of over the whole like siege ground.
Mm-hmm.
As you're kind of approaching it, you can see that there are. I don't think there's any like secret here. You're coming up behind them. Like there are like just mass, like just a veritable forest of thorns, which are of course people that have been impaled on those like trees, and then infused with lightning. There are also very clearly lots of hexed that are actually seem to be doing the laboring on these siege weapons. They're within each group of hex, there are also shadow witches that are sort of maintaining order and sort of commanding them. And then
We should bring a bomb anyway.
Yeah.
Can't hurt.
Yeah, we're surrounded by the undead, so just tossing a bomb is never a bad idea.
I mean, you're not wrong. I just don't think that's going to solve your ritual problem, which is, of course, the mission.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
I have one question about the specialists we're bringing.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Sally. But before that,
Yeah.
I'll give you for free a useful thing to bring on this mission would be religious supplies. Just
God
because I can.
damn it.
If we bring Adhikar for his special ability, I don't think we can bring 3 specialists and also play them. If we want to like play Adhikar, right?
Yeah, why not?
No, there's 4 of you, right?
Yeah.
So 3 specialists and 1 Adhikar.
There's 4 of us. Right. Okay. Good call.
Yeah.
Scratch that.
'Kay.
I'm looking at like 4 faces and no Rudy.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry.
No Rudy.
Blame
So it's just a
Zoom.
little behind
Hey,
the
everyone
scenes.
out
We
there,
can't see
we
Rudy's
can't
face.
see Rudy.
Oh yeah, they don't know that. We can't see Rudy. We just see the letters of his name.
It's a bummer because I have such an expressive face.
I have Twitch up so I can see you.
Okay, so do we have what we want here? Are we
We
ready
have
to
what we want.
move on?
Ready to engage.
Woo.
So you
who
have
is playing
horses.
whom?
I would like to play Azure because I haven't played Azure in a long time.
Sure. Done.
Fits like a glove.
Ah, it's good to be back.
Does someone want to play Red Raging? Because I've played her a bunch.
Or-
I don't know. You made a big character choice for Red Raging last week.
What?
Oh,
What did I do? Raging?
Just her deciding that maybe I care more about this Star
Oh,
Fox.
the Star. Oh, that thing. Right.
Yeah. So maybe you should continue running Red Raging? I don't like yes, no.
I mean,
don't
unless you
know.
want one of the others.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't mind a break, but I also won't mind playing her. Like I would maybe play like Adhikar or even Arun. But I'm flexible.
Okay.
I'm
Rudy,
happy
you
to
have a
play Red
preference?
Raging too.
I don't mind playing whatever. I-Hsien, do you have a preference?
Yeah, if people don't mind, can I play Adhikar?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I would rather take Arun than Red Raging, if that's okay,
Okay.
Sally.
Red Raging
Just
it
because
is.
I don't want to step on any ideas you had.
Wait,
Okay.
can
I didn't have
everybody-
any ideas, but I'm happy to come up with some right now.
That's fine.
Can everybody see their character sheet?
Yes.
Ooh, good
Yes.
question. Yes.
Cool, perfect. Okay, so let's talk about load.
Heavy. Everyone take heavy.
Heavy.
Maybe it is.
I mean, that's what we do. This legion is all about assault.
Yeah.
Cool. So go ahead and mark to utility as well. I know we have talked about bringing Blackshot. I don't know if that's still on the docket here.
Yes.
Yes.
What are the 2 little connected boxes with Blackshot? What does that mean?
It costs 2
Costs
of
both your
your
utility.
Oh, I see
utility.
it. Okay. Oh, I don't
Um,
have anything to.
Oh, we don't get any special stuff because we didn't take that Zora upgrade, right?
Special stuff?
Religious whatever.
We don't. We took the
No, no.
armor.
You took armor.
Which is also great. God, so many dots in armor.
You
It's
took
great to be a
6
soldier.
Yeah. And the magic armor is our special tick, right? On the character
Mhm. Although you
sheets.
can have multiple special.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have
Um,
multiple uses for special, but you
Gotcha.
only get one. You get to use special armor once, but you might have multiple reasons to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, really? Additional special armors don't stack?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Ugh.
What other special armors do we have?
Pretty
certain
much
characters
everything
have them.
has like a different, like you get special armor for this thing.
Gotcha. You didn't take Crimson Shot with Arun, right? No.
No, not yet. He just
Not
has
yet.
4 dots and lots of shit.
Yeah. Ooh,
Doesn't he have?
oh man.
He took a trauma though, right? So he'll die when he uses it.
I don't know. He didn't trauma out. It was it was Adhikar.
Ah,
Oh.
okay,
But he already has the 1 additional, so it's 2 more to kill him.
got him. So he's got 2 crimson shots. Ideally. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
exactly.
So has everybody chosen their utility?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage for engagement, Sally.
Okay.
Do you guys want me to spend an intel on this? I was already going to spend an intel to give us an additional die roll for the engagement.
Sure.
I
love
feel like
rolling
being
more
in a good
dice.
position might be really important for this. Right? Yes? No?
Yeah. Let's.
Thoughts?
I'm cool with that.
All right. I do it.
I mean,
Spend an intel.
I-Hsien and Amber, are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Are all in the mission oath sworn to the Legion?
Did you bring an alchemist?
Oh.
Yeah, so we said, oh yeah, we're bringing the alchemist.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
So
do
then-
alchemists do again on the mission?
They are like very NPC. They're basically like, if you need an alchemist for something, you have them. They're more
see.
like an item than they are necessarily like
Okay.
a character. Yeah.
That's a no. We are not
Mm.
all oath sworn.
So then no, yeah.
Make that alchemist take a damn oath. Did the commander spend one intel? Yes. Is everyone on the mission a specialist or soldier?
No.
No. Does any legionnaire distrust the leadership or not fear them enough to obey orders in the battlefield?
Not yet.
It's only a problem with Tatanika.
True. Are required specialists or equipment not on the mission?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Did the quartermaster equip the soldiers with Blackshot?
Yes.
Is any legionnaire starting the mission wounded?
Wait, you spent a black shot, Amber?
Were we going to? I thought we said we were going
Yeah,
to.
right?
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that you spent it
Nice.
because
Yes,
I know people were
yes.
looking at it in utility as well
Okay. Yeah, I thought we
Oh.
were spending it specifically on
to get it. Okay,
yeah.
cool. So then you get that for free in your
Oh,
utility.
cool.
So
Oil. Yeah, I'll take oil.
Yeah, I got oil.
Oh, so wait. Okay, so we are spending it.
Yes.
yeah, so you're spending it. Yep.
Is any legionnaire starting the mission wounded? I don't think so.
Wounded.
Is Azure wounded?
Yes, Azure has a crimson thorn.
Right.
Harm.
Wouldn't that have gotten
Oh,
healed?
yes.
It's only one, level 1.
Yep. Gone.
Okay, so
no.
no. Okay, so it's 2 dice. And the result is a 3,
Wow.
otherwise known as desperate.
desperate.
Wow.
Okay. Well, it is 8:45.
I was about to
so
say.
why don't we take a
Break and
Yeah.
commiserate for.
Come back at 8:55, so a 9-minute break.
Mhm.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Cool.
All right.
All right, we'll start the mission.
We're back. Hi.
Yay.
Hey. And we're desperate.
Ah.
Ah.
Boo.
So desperate.
So thirsty. Can we just change it to thirsty?
All right, so we rolled desperate on our engagement roll.
Hmm.
So let's find out just how desperate we are, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so as planned, Zora rides out. She's flanked by a Zemyati company, actually, and they are sort of attacking directly into the rear of this gathered Breaker's army, right? So hexed, mostly thorned ones, Shadow Witch is kind of in between, and like as she arrives there, there is this sickening screech that comes from the sky, and you see one of the they're called Devourers. I don't know if we've actually seen them on camera yet, but they are these sort of like disgusting like natural perversions, these rainbow feathered beasts that like have these massive disgusting talons and like almost human heads, but then they're like they have like bat-like mouths, sort of like the Man Bat comic, if you guys remember that from the 90s.
Are you making a Batman reference?
I know, yeah. That was Nah, we'll talk about that later. It's the only Batman I own. It's very bad. Anyway, so like they are the size, like larger than a man, like of the size that they could easily carry off a soldier, like just grab him or her in its talons and just lift them into the sky.
I mean, that happened to one of our secondary missions, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was you discovered them. We just haven't really seen them on camera. But there's like this sickening screech as you see for the first time Breaker herself riding in on this massive devourer, and just coming straight in on like a strafing run on Zora. And there's like an explosion, like this explosion of like what looks like noxious gas right around her, and like smoke and whatnot, as you see Breaker kind of lift back off into the sky. And then as the smoke dissipates, Zora just steps forward and continues like pushing her legion on. And so with that, you like turn, and now it's time to find the source of this ritual, right? And go ahead and finish that off. So I think with desperate position, I don't think so. This distraction is very, very good for getting Breaker's attention. I don't know that it was necessarily all that great for getting the rest of these troops out of position. So I think you are on horseback riding in. I think it's with a rune with you. I think you can pretty easily like trace the tendrils of magic through the sky to locate the source of the ritual. It wasn't necessarily like safe to scout out, but even as you're riding, it's not particularly hidden. There is an encampment of tents that is, sort of out on the plain leading up to Fort Callisto, and in it is just a lot of magic that seems to be feeding into the storm. Unfortunately, it is still surrounded by thorns. It is what you might call a thorn forest. And I think because it's desperate position, what happens is as you are approaching and trying to figure out exactly how you want to maneuver around them, the storm itself starts lashing out at you. Not taking any like damage or corruption yet, of course, but like kind of forcing your hand. You have to keep moving, which is forcing you pretty much headlong charge directly through these thorns to get to this encampment. So they are a lot of them, and you've got to get through them. If some of you, I think, were on the last mission, you might remember a certain cavalry charge that went similarly. So I think we'll start there, which is you are the sickly green lightning is striking around you, spooking your horses. You kind of kick them in the flank to get them into a gallop, and it is, banners down. I'm thinking you're carrying banners on like lances, so it's like lances down and swords out, and some of you carry like carbines, but you are riding full speed, and we are about to clash with the first line of thorns. What are you guys doing?
Skirmishing?
Well, these thorns are gonna hurt us, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And they're big scale too. Like there's lots of them.
How hard is it raining?
I would say the rain itself, it's like one of those storms that's so violent that like the rain isn't really that heavy. Like it's just kind of a steady like light rain. But the storm overhead, the thunder and the lightning is very violent.
Okay.
I mean, the last cavalry charge softened them up with a couple of volleys first.
Yeah.
And we did equip Black Shot.
There are so many of them. Like you are going to definitely be at a scale disadvantage for that too. They're like scale 4. It's not like the pikemen where they were pretty thinly spread. Like this is pretty dense. So totally do that. But you also brought bombs.
Yeah, as I say, oil and fire and we have an alchemist and we have a bomb, or we could flashback to have a bomb. So
Yes,
who
please.
wants to throw? Who wants to throw a bomb? Azure says to everybody.
Is that a rig?
Oh,
I think it's a rig.
I guess I'm throwing that bomb.
I think actually, like, to get the scale that you need here,
Yes.
like, I think you probably need 2 people to do it. So I think if 2 of you act as a group throwing this, you can actually negate the scale.
And
Does that other person have to be rigging as well, or can they do something to like help get the bomb into a good location?
There are mechanics for this, and I should know them off the top of my head. And yet,
Oh, a setup?
here I am. Yeah, what does setup give you? Setup gives you +1 attack.
plus
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say that's okay. Or you can set up for improved position, and 2 people can do it as a group rig.
If there's a superhuman physical feat I can do here, we can reduce the
Throw
level,
a bomb
the threat.
half a mile.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Does anyone else have rig to begin with? Adhikar does not.
Neither does Red Raging.
Okay, so we're definitely not doing 2 people
We've
rigging.
got a lot of stress to spend right now if we want to push ourselves and give a die on rig. And
No, I want
someone
to do
could
this. This is desperate, so we're doing this.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Adhikar, right? The rain is coming down, and there's like this terrifying like magic storm in the air, and people are impaled on spears, but his face is serene, and he seems not confident, but like assured that everything's going to work out just fine. And he will like volunteer, put his arm right up basically immediately, and say like, I will help escort the bomb in, and I probably maybe a skirmish to like sort of hack people out of the way in front of Azure so she can get the bomb in the right place before they hopefully skedaddle and it explodes.
cool. I like it. Roll me that setup.
All right. 2 dots in skirmish. Do we? Oh, I'm trying to think if I want to push this early. Is it desperate?
It's
Is-
desperate, yeah.
It's desperate.
This is only the beginning. No, I'm just gonna go for it. All right.
Mark a tick, tick an XP.
Oh yeah. Boom. So Adhikar has upgraded to soldier's kit, so he actually pulls out like a regulation saber, a fine saber, and you know he's taking point. And as he is like hacking away at thorns, he's just sort of like looking over his shoulder at Azure, and he's like, "So have you heard about Faresh? You know, she's gonna get us out of this. We're gonna be just fine, believe you me." Because
I like how cavalier you are in the middle of a literal cavalry charge.
That's why they call it Cavalier.
Ooh, a cavalier charge.
Mm.
Two dice, 1 and a 4.
Okay. So you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer severe harm. A serious complication occurs.
Indeed.
I am going to kind of mix the two because a severe harm would be threat 7.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Wait, sorry. No, that's wrong.
We all
'cause
die
you're
twice.
You're threat 2, right? So it would be
Yeah.
standard would be 3 harm. They're threat 1, you're threat 2, so it would be 2. Their
Wait, did
scale
we take tonics?
4, it would be 5.
Before the mission, we can flash back and say we did.
I mean, I have tons of
I-
tonics.
I don't know
Yeah.
if that helps. That gives potency. Does
I
that
give
change
it physical
the scale?
potency.
Hang on. It's okay.
Okay.
Wait for the outcome.
Oh, okay.
You are so we're going to start with the complication, which I think is pretty serious. You are unhorsed. So as you ride in with your skirmish, like the thorns themselves, right? Like they are humans, like men and women who have been impaled with these sharp, like spear-like trees that are like crackling with lightning, and they're like every surface of them is like a razor's touch, right? And so like even as you just approach them, like where a horse would normally be able to kind of like run into another horse, you know, and kind of bounce off or whatever, like its armor isn't quite handling that, and they actually are able to kind of like stick into it, and the momentum throws you off, whereupon they sort of like, kind of gang up on you, right? They're like piling in on you. So we're going to call that only level 3 harm, which of course you
Cool.
can resist, but still you're getting skewered, and you will be unhorsed, which you can also resist if you would like.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Adhikar will resist being unhorsed, which I think will be a prowess roll in basically maneuvering the horse in
Sure.
the right way. Cool.
Totally.
Adhikar has 5 dots in prowess resist.
Wow.
Nice.
I wish you had stress to possibly clear.
Yes, he does not clear any, but he does get a 6.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So that's free. He maintains his horse. He's still getting poked a lot by these.
Yes. All right. So again, let's do another prowess resist for getting stabbed less.
Yep.
Ooh, highest is a 4.
So that's 2
All right,
stress,
so 2 stress,
and you've
which
got level
reduces
2
it to
harm.
2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he'll drop his shield, and then he gets a ding in his armor, which takes the other 2.
Okay. So no harm.
Right.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, and so like these are like electrified too, these thorns, right? Like there's like that lightning, that fell lightning crackling throughout them. So like I think you probably have a metal shield now that you're a soldier.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And like one of these thorns actually pierces it, which you think, great, right? Like it's done its job. And then like you feel that like that numbness like racing through your arm, and you're forced to drop it because it's like electrifying and conducting.
Makes perfect
but
sense.
Your armor does its job, and Amber, go ahead and roll that rig roll with +1 effect.
And as I'm doing this, I'm like, Faresh, you say, huh?
She's great.
Just desperate of standard effect?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's fine. Just roll it standard, and we'll sort out the math.
4, 4, 3. 4.
Okay. I feel like we always use this with the bombs, but I think there's a serious complication. I think you're both caught in the blast.
Not Asher.
That's right.
Can I use bulwark here?
Yes, but I think because this is like harm inflicted by Amber, it would be better to resist that complication outright.
Got it.
And I think the way that I don't know which way do you want to do that? Like, what skill do you want to use for that, or which attribute?
Oh, for me, I mean, I personally would love to use insight. Like, I'm smart enough.
I mean, that it's a rig.
I
It's
think-
a
I
rig
think-
roll, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's about getting it in the right spot without catching you guys in the blast. So I think
Right.
that's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
I think you can roll insight
I
to
have
resist that.
4. I should be rolling 4 die.
Okay.
5, 5, 6,
Whoa.
5. Woo.
Okay, so that's
Wink.
also a free resist. All right, I think you have not killed all of the thorns by any means, but I think what you have done is cleared out enough space that, the 7 of you, I guess it is, 8 of you, the 8 of you can ride through. 9 of you, you have that alchemist with you. But like, again, you have like parted the Red Sea, as it were, and you're able to kind of like ride in as a column. I think in the process here, like you guys are going to get shuffled sort of to the back of the line. And you guys don't really have time now as the storm and like the lightning is kind of crackling down around you, right? Like you don't have time to regroup. So you guys will be at the back of the group. Who is at the front as you come up on the encampment where this ritual is?
Red Raging.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you come up on this camp, and you are the first to notice it. Arun, you see this with your eye. It is not even a little bit of a secret. There is a hag there. The hag. You see, like, she has like these tattered like tattered robes, right? Like she has this sickly like green flesh that's kind of like sort of a combination of like corrupted and rotted in that sort of way that like the bits of it that are exposed are like, I don't know, like kind of almost like bubbling. It's sickly. Like her hair is like stringy. It's obviously it's wet, it's matted down, but it's like stringy, and like kind of like patches of it have fallen out of her head. But like you can clearly see her face is like lit by this backlight, this underlight, right? And her face has this perfect determination. Like even though like her physical body is failing and blighted, like her power is not. And you see like she's like working her fingers and hands in these like sort of arcane movements, and you can see like manifesting within them is this like ball of lightning that is like sort of growing and closing and then like lashing out and like reaching upwards, and like it flashes up into the sky, and then like right next to you, Red Raging, is like a lightning bolt that slams into the ground, right? And like she's sort of controlling it in this way, and then like one will like a tendril of it will lash out at somebody else, you know, and she's just kind of manipulating this, but she doesn't move at all, right? And Red Raging, what happens as you are riding up to this is that from above there is that telltale screech, and a devourer swoops in, and like sort of one razor sharp talon into your like chest and shoulder, like kind of just grabbing you like here, and the other into your horse, like into the horse's neck. And like you feel that sensation of being lifted out of the saddle.
Greymane's gonna be pissed.
Yikes.
How far away is the hag?
Wait, is that something that's resistible?
Oh.
The lifted out of the saddle is resistible, but I think it's more that you need to react to it.
Well, I'd like to perform a feat of physical force that verges on the superhuman and grab it by its talon and whip it back over my head and slam it on the ground.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
You definitely do. Tell me how you do that.
I think that as its like talon is coming, I'm assuming it's like a big old talon, like a pterodactyl type of situation. That's what I'm picturing. Yeah, so I'm just gonna grab it and like just try to swing it back behind my head, perhaps with a skirmish roll.
Okay.
And I'm gonna reduce the threat level of all the enemies you're facing by 1 with my war machine thingy.
Okay.
And I'm also gonna push myself. Give me that sweet stress. So that'll be 4 dice. That's a goodly amount of dice.
And you've also reduced his threat from 2 to 1.
Nice. This is desperate, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are still desperate. And that's why this is just happening to you.
Right, okay. Standard bonus dice 1. I got a 4.
Okay. Oh boy.
Do we
Severe
have
harm.
a devourer clock up, Shane? Should I turn?
Yeah, you should turn the clocks up.
Okay.
I guess I should explain the clocks. So there is a Zora clock. This is Zora's ability to hold Blighter's attention.
Oh boy.
There is a Devourer clock, which is, of course, this Devourer. And there is a clock for the Hag. You will notice that she has 12 ticks. She is threat 4.
I believe her threat is also reduced by 1 because we are facing her.
Why is that?
Because of my war machine, it says all enemies you are facing.
Ah, okay. Well, then she is treated as threat 3.
Nice.
She still has a 12 clock.
And we get XP as if she were threat 4. If we survive.
Correct. But keep in mind, the objective here is not to kill the hag; it is to interrupt the ritual.
Yes.
So,
Right.
you do not need to tick all of these because that we will be here all night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
I have aim.
I mean,
Yeah.
shoot your shot. But anyway,
Yeah.
okay, so you rolled a 4 on a desperate, so that means you do it, but there is a consequence. You suffer severe harm, a serious complication occurs. So let's start with the harm that you're going to do to this devourer.
Okay.
So you fought, you reduced threat. Did it increase your scale as well?
It just says reduce the threat level.
Okay, all right. And then you are
you
threatened
can-
to.
Either anchor or bulwark. I forget which one it is. Just fight as a small squad, but I don't think you're doing that right now.
No, but that's defending. Wait, you can spend anchor, use this one to concept to squad you're defending. Wait, what's
Bulwark. Do you have that ability?
that is bulwark, yeah. You can spend an anchor use as a special armor against consequences to a squad you're defending.
But isn't the regular use of anchor is fight as a small squad?
Yes, I think that's right.
Oh shit. Okay. But would I have had to you use your size? Would I have had to do that instead of skirmish?
No. That's something that you would do. Like, it just treats you as a small squad for scale.
Oh, it's a use. I see.
Yeah. So just
Okay.
you spend anchor on whatever you're doing. You're now a small squad doing it.
You won't
Okay.
be able to. You lose a bulwark use basically, right? So you're sort of deciding which one you're spending.
I
anchor
see.
On.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm sorry. So anchor makes me so that increases my scale. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Can I do that? Is it okay to like retcon that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So,
So she's fighting as a small squad, and everyone else's threat is reduced by one.
yeah.
And
Exactly.
she's performing a feat of
Wow.
superhuman strength and grabbing a devourer out of the air.
Heavy.
I love this.
Go big or go home.
Man,
So-
Red
specialist
Raging is really
specialized.
motivated because of the Star Fox. She wants to
Yeah.
get through this thing and keep it moving.
Okay. I think there's. I know that you could technically resist this, but I think this is way cooler if you just abandon the saddle and
Okay.
like it. Okay, so it comes in with a talon into your shoulder, right, and into your horse. Your horse is maybe alive, maybe dead, but you don't really care because in your other hand, like that was the hand that had your reins. The other hand has your sword, right? And like as it starts to lift you, like you free your other hand, sword in, and then you like leap out of the saddle, overwhelming this devourer, so it's not even able to like use its wings to avoid anything, and you just
Nice.
slam all of your body weight in through this sword into this devourer and like pin it to the ground,
Love it.
as you are now out of your horse at a full gallop, which I'm sure is fast enough to hurt a lot.
That checks out.
Yeah, and so like and so between like as bad as it has you have just reached out and grabbed it. You will take that severe harm.
By severe, you mean like a level 2?
So severe harm starts at 3.
Oh, damn it.
But because you are higher threat than it, it is, and because you are higher scale than it,
Hell yeah.
that severe harm is a mere level 1.
That's
Wow.
amazing. Red Raging eats devours devourers for breakfast. Okay, cool. What's the do you want to specify the wound for me?
I think. Well, one,
Stubbed
you could
toe.
use
Yeah.
armor. You could use
Yeah.
armor and reduce it to 0 if you'd like.
I don't think I want to. Does it make sense to?
Which resist would this be?
I mean, it depends on how you would resist it. I
Okay,
would
yeah.
think either resolve or prowess.
I guess I do have a bunch of.
We have so much stress right now. Or, yeah. So maybe try resisting it and holding the armor for like level 5, level 6 harms. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So don't use the armor now. You're saying?
Yeah. Resist or
I mean,
take it is what I would say.
I would
Yeah,
just take it. It's
Okay.
just a level 1.
Okay, so I think that's I mean, you're like leaping off of a horse at full speed, right?
Mhm.
As much as you're cushioned by like falling on top of this devourer, like I think you're still like, I let's just call it like battered.
Okay. Cool.
So in a perfect world, I would be able to math this, but I'm gonna call it 4 ticks on this devourer because
Ooh.
that was fucking rad.
Sure.
Sweet.
So
all right.
I see the hag in the distance, and part of her ritual thing is obviously she's using her hands.
Yes.
I will turn to the alchemist and I will say, If I shoot her hand off, can she not do it anymore?
Can't hurt to try, mate.
Cool. I'm glad we brought you. And then
Oh no,
I'm
it's
going
Alchemist Pete.
So I've been talking to Leonin about his horse sniper thing.
His horse sniper thing.
So the student has become the master in this particular way. Will you let me shoot with my rifle from the back of a horse?
The rifles are 4.
Sure, that's what carbines are for. But why not?
Well, I specifically took a long fine rifle. It doesn't specify. It doesn't say that I have a carbine anywhere.
It's fine. You can shoot from the back of your horse.
Thanks, Shane. What a guy.
You've waited patiently while you had friggin' Red Raging go Nova on this Devourer. You
was
can
great.
take your shot, Rudy.
If he had more ticks, I'd just put my gun in his face. But I think since he's almost already dead, I'll focus on the hag. I will spend a point of aim.
Mm-hmm.
Haha. I will
does that
use that increases the effect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will spend one of my black shot on my shot. And I will Rage Venom. What is
Physical
it?
potency.
Okay, I figured that. So it wouldn't help. You can spend stress to increase effect as well as or instead of a die. Is that right?
You can
We always
push to
forget
increase
this.
effect,
Push to increase
or
effect.
Or to add a die.
Okay.
You can also spend multiple aims.
Oh, I did not know that. Thank you, I-Hsien.
Sally, did you spend the stress for the push?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You mean did I mark it?
Yeah.
I don't know, because he's like, I'm the sniper. I snipe. I'm going to spend a second aim, and I'm going to push to increase my
damn.
effect again.
All in.
So that's 2 aims, black powder, and increased effect push.
So that's plus 4 effect.
Yes, and her threat has been reduced by 1 because of
I'm
Red
double
Raging?
checking that. I don't know if that's for everybody or just
like,
for Red Raging.
engaged. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, check that. Meanwhile,
But-
I'll roll my 4 shoot.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Desperate, so I get an XP.
I love Rune.
You built him wonderfully.
A rune.
Thank you.
A rules.
You willed him so well.
5.
You're making me sick. 5.
Yeah.
I mean, you do it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, I don't like having a consequence.
Oh boy. Okay, so okay. So you're threat 2 normally, and you've added 4. I think that War Machine only works when Red Raging is engaged with it.
Okay.
I don't see it specific, but I think that like makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
So like that will apply for her if she gets up to the hag. So that is 6 total. And then the difference between you is 3. So that will be 3 ticks on the hag. Whoops.
Ooh.
So that's okay. And I mean this is a shot, right? Like let's let this sink in here, right? Like this is a rune taking like his specialty to put a bullet right where it belongs, and you nail her. And you were aiming for the hand, right?
Yeah, I want to try and take it off if I can.
I don't think you're able to like take her whole hand off.
Yeah,
like,
but even
you,
like a finger, 2 fingers.
yeah, like you said, yeah, you like literally blow off like the top half of her hand with this shot, right? Or maybe the bottom half makes more sense. You know, thumbs are still helpful. And so like you take off fingers with her shot, and she reacts in this way, like very suddenly, like is surprised that she could even be hurt this much, right? And in the process, like she seems to lose control of this like ball lightning that she has in her hand, and it just like flashes out across across this camp, and like a bolt specifically like from the sky aimed for you like crashes down into you like a lightning bolt, as well as like you can see like the effect because of your alchemical eye, like something has been activated around her in this camp that is going to be a problem, and she like gives you this stare of just like absolute hatred, and sort of mixed with disbelief. But you have level 4 harm coming
Level
to you.
4 harm.
Uh-oh.
And level 4 corruption coming to you.
Whoa.
You resist corruption with different things. Of course, you have like you could use reliquaries or your special armor for Zora that each reduce it by 1. But you also like can resist that, paying like risking stress,
Sure.
and then you also resist with like the damage, the harm itself separately. So you could resist with stress for both, but both of them will reduce by 1. So it's 4 and 4.
So I will spend one of my. Can I spend more than 1 reliquary?
Yeah, it's like armor.
Okay, cool.
Oh, actually, sorry, you're threat 2 because you're a rune. So it's actually 3. It's level 3 harm, level 4 corruption.
Ooh.
So corruption
when
never goes away, right?
There are ways to. Zora actually has a way to heal corruption.
Oh,
nice. Rudy, when you use the reliquary, it also gives you an additional die to resist the corruption. So you may want to consider.
I don't know if you have a reliquary.
I do. I chose to take the reliquary.
And because of Adakar's very calming presence and demeanor, you also get an additional die to resist corruption.
Wow. Okay. So you said it was 3.
3 harm, 4 corruption.
Oh, 4 corruption. Okay.
Yeah, because the corruption is
that's not. Yeah. Okay. I will spend 2 of my. So what would the resist for corruption be? You said it's. I can't like move out of the way of the corruption, can I? With prowess.
It's a lightning bolt.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So
yeah, I think you can.
Okay. So then I'll try and I see the lightning bolt coming, and I try and wheel my horse around. I don't get all the way out of the way, or do I? And I will spend 2 reliquaries, which reduces it to 2. And then it gives me 2 more dice, and I get 1 more from Adakar.
Correct.
So I get 3 dice. Bonus dice. I rolled 1 6. Nice. So
okay. You can also spend your special armor to reduce it by 1 because of Zora's ability.
I think I'll take the 1 corruption for now, and I'll leave the special armor for more crazy harm.
Okay.
Speaking of which, crazy harm.
Actually, I guess you could spend those seals. It just says verse magical effect, so it doesn't like this is a magical effect. You could definitely just use it to reduce the harm too.
I think I'm gonna roll resist first,
okay,
because we still have a lot of stress to spend. Yep. And this is still prowess, right? It's the same application of resist.
I think so.
Right? Okay, so no bonus dice, but I'll still roll it because it's 3, which is still good. 4.
Okay, so you'll take 2 stress.
I'll take 2 stress, and it's moved to a level 3 harm. And then I will use my shield.
It's level 2 harm.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. You said it was level 3. Okay, so I'll use my shield.
Level 1 harm?
Yeah, I don't know if I should take it or not. What do you guys think? Lessen effect?
2 harm.
What kind of harm would this be? Bolted? Shocked?
I think the question is, are you at risk of taking like a huge hit of harm where you need to spend more of it to just stay alive versus like the effect of taking a single lingering harm?
Gotcha. All right, I'll spend 1 tick of my heavy armor as well then to reduce it down to 0. So I get my shield above my head. I am an old-fashioned wooden shield guy. So it doesn't conduct additional electricity through my body.
Perfect.
Like that old school wooden shield. and then it does hit my metal armor, so I got a little electrocuted, but it's okay. It's just like a shock.
Okay, so as that happens, you see like this shaking within the tents, and emerging from them are hexed. And instead of walking towards you, they seem to be walking towards the hag.
Hex
and not
shield.
She's
not
gonna eat
walking
them.
so slow either. They are like kind of like compelled to move towards the hag. And like I think you guys might remember what we described hex moving. Like they have this sort of jerky, like kind of stop motion, like kind of gross impersonation of human movement.
Yeah. So I think Adakar's just like, because there was a debriefing earlier, right? Like we know about the hag. He's just gonna be like, I think she's gonna eat them. You should have shot her in the mouth.
Ooh.
All right.
Well, Adakar, I think it is about time to figure out what you and
Azure
are doing about this, because
Yeah.
there's a group of rookies in front of you and you are bringing up the rear. So
So knowing, I think Azure, knowing that there's like a ritual being performed, is interested in, especially if it's alchemical. And I know that, or maybe she knows that there might be some sort of set up around the hag that is like help charging her or something, like some sort of runes or some sort of something that is helping her focus her magic. So I would like to research essentially and look if there's something around the area that is basically bolstering her.
Cool.
Okay. Research. Am I still in a desperate situation as I ride in front of these rookies?
I think you're actually only risky, because I think you do have like kind of a line of rookies in front of you, and you guys are far enough removed from those thorns. So I think you're actually risky just by nature.
Okay, so I have 2 in research. I think I'm gonna push myself to get a bonus die, just to make sure I get something. Hopefully, all right. I'm rolling. 2, 2, 5, 5.
5. Okay. So yes, you can. I think so. Adakar said she's going to eat them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And as he says that, like you know that hexed have that sort of like that mark on them, right? Like that hexed mark that shows where they are. And like when they're trying to be insidious with it, like the shadow witches will put it someplace that's not obvious so that they can fake humanity, right? They can pretend not to. But these hexed are very clearly hexed because they have this ugly rune like glyph on their forehead,
right?
This nasty scarification. And as you like, even without an alchemical eye, like you can see that like there is lightning that is sort of like chasing itself around this glyph, and then like the ball is sort of like, as she's trying to stabilize it with her like busted, like crippled hand, like it is using, it's like almost like it's bouncing off of the glyphs to stay in its shape. Does that make sense? Like so it's almost like she's using the hexed, her control of the hexed, in order to like manipulate this ball lightning as if it were her hand.
So we have to kill the hexed. Okay, I convey that back to whoever I'm writing closest to, which Adakar is with me right now.
This would be a good use for those rookies.
Yeah.
Adakar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
However,
looks,
the Devourer is almost dead.
Yeah.
Which would open Red Raging to fight the entire squad of hexed.
So like as we like pass by Red Raging, I see like as we're riding up to go look at this, can I toss a tonics to Red Raging to yeah. You can
Sure.
gain physical potency.
Sure. Give me a prowess fortune roll, please, Sally.
Prowess fortune roll.
So just your total prowess.
Total prowess. 3.
Spend a use of tonics.
So do I just roll
No
Oh,
dice.
roll
just
fortune.
a roll. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so it's 3. Oh, input value. What does that mean?
I don't know.
0.
Just-
And you just roll 3d6 as well.
Yeah, just put 3.
Oh
What?
my
Whoa.
god!
3 6s.
The mark
Holy
of the
shit.
devil.
The mark of the devil and a kick-ass crit.
Okay, so you
I kill the hag and the devourer and all the hacks. We did it.
I mean, that sucks that that's a
Oh, I was
fortune
catching
roll.
the tonic.
Yeah, because the
that's-
coolest thing that can happen is like it
You-
doesn't just fall harmlessly next to you to pick up when you have a second. Like
You catch it
just
with
goes-
your mouth and drink it down.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like you catch it out of the air, like flip the cork stopper out and just like chug it.
Yeah,
right.
hell yeah.
So what do tonics do?
So basically now I can they give a person potency for physical action.
I have a cat attack. Hold on.
Cat
Okay.
attack. 3 ticks.
Okay, so she has potency for all of her physical actions.
Yes.
Nice.
Hell yeah. I'm about to fuck up this devourer real good.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
For
So
a
that was
physical action, yeah.
that was free because of remarkable fortune.
hmm.
Sweet. All right. I think it's Adhikar now, right?
I actually think the best thing for him to do is try to kill the devourer to free up
Mhm.
Red Raging.
I'm
Take on stuff.
certainly if she's stunting with
It's
her
a threat
tonics-
2.
Yes.
He's a threat 2. So what do we need for 2 ticks? Just a regular success?
A crit, right? Or
Oh, we're
Uh,
desperate. Well, no, that doesn't affect.
No, that doesn't matter for you.
Mhm.
You just need a
Standard
success.
is 2 ticks.
Your standard is 2 ticks.
All
Oh,
right.
okay.
So devourers are undead, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then Adhikar, still on his horse, sort of like serenely sheathes his saber, pulls out a musket, slams a black shot round home, and almost like casually canters his horse up. And the horse also, like, it doesn't seem spooked right now. There's just this presence sort of emanating from him as he like pats the side of its neck, canters up to the devourer and tries to just shoot it right in the head, which is
All
a
that beautiful
shoot.
bean footage.
Can I help by continuing to pin this devourer down?
I think he wants to free you up to do something else. So
But I'm trying to like hold him down so he can get a good shot. No.
You're assisting with a
Yeah.
spend a stress.
actually, I'll call it risky. Yeah. Well. Oh yeah. So yeah, you can just assist by spending the stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Roll
works.
Another die.
And Jesus.
So you have another die, Ishin.
Cool. Because I got a 2, a 3, and a 6.
Hey.
Yes.
You do it.
You do it.
I think yeah, you
It's
Pretty much
basically
point
an
blank.
execution.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. pretty much like Red Raging has just the force of a dozen men, I guess. Weighing this horrific bird monster, bat bird monster with prismatic feathers down, and you put that disgusting creature out of its misery.
Hell yeah.
You welcome it to the afterlife.
I've been
And
playing a lot
Adhikar
of-
will say like a short blessing over it that nobody else knows, right? It's a blessing of Faresh through the
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of Red Redemption Online, and all I'm thinking right now is skin it, take its feathers.
All right, Devourer done.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I think you were involved in that Red Raging, or Sally. So what does Red Raging do? Suddenly freed of the burden of wrestling this monster.
So I'm meant to go for the hag, right?
or
Is that
disrupt the
your plan?
ritual, whatever
Yeah.
that.
Or stop the
Like-
ritual.
The hex.
The hexed, yeah.
The hexed. Okay. Can you? What's my physical environment? I'm trying to. I would love to come up with a feat of another physical superhuman feat.
Bowling for hexed.
I
with a
think
boulder.
Boulder.
yeah.
Can
so-
I pick up the
bowling
How
ball.
big is the devourer? Can I throw it at its heavy limp body?
So I have a reference here that I think maybe only I-Hsien will remember. But I'm gonna.
I think I'm doing the same thing in my head. I think.
Are you thinking Sergeant Slaughter at the end of the G.I. Joe movie?
Oh.
Throwing
incredible.
Nemesis Enforcer down the chasm.
I mean, I am now. I was also thinking of the Beast of Burden, which is a 5e weaponized carrying capacity build that we put together that fought with dead goblins or actually a cow.
Right, a TPT original TM.
Yeah.
Your respective nerdery is incredible. both of you. That's to both of you.
But let me answer your question, Sally,
Yes.
with a question of my own.
Okay.
Whoa.
Do you think you can do it?
I Red Raging knows she can do it. The
Well, we
question
play to
is,
find out. Roll it.
Okay. So I just have to decide where I'm going to throw this thing. So we have the hag. We have the hex to our making. Oh, we want the hex to not get to the hag because she's going to eat them and get really powerful. Is that the deal?
She's using them to complete the ritual.
Yeah.
She's using
I
them
see.
like
She's
Okay.
also drawing them in. Yeah, so it seems like it's going to get worse if they reach her too. But she's currently using them, so anything you do to them will inhibit her.
Okay. Probably can't get this
Are you
devourer
fighting
in her
as a
mouth.
small squad still?
Um,
That's still in effect?
I think that's for, like, 1 second. So the war machine is definitely worn off, right? And it's the anchor that we're looking.
well, I was thinking I might.
Because the hex have scale right now, right? Because there are a bunch of them.
I see.
Yeah.
I can't use both at the same time, can I? Like anchor and war machine, because I want to throw the devourer, which I feel like is war machine.
No, I think you totally can. I think in this case, since you want to throw the devourer, I think that is just war machine, and that will give you we'll say it's big enough to give you scale. How's that?
Okay.
Nice.
Sweet. Okay. I guess with this, what is throwing things? Would that be?
At this range?
Come up with something, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe it's
skirmish.
wreck.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
skirmish,
wreck.
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come up with skirmish.
Okay.
I'm gonna come
So-
up with more dots. Yeah.
Keep this in mind. Like, you are lifting it over your head, right, and running like full speed forward to like launch this thing,
Yeah.
right? So you're like, this part of the superhuman nature of this is that you can just pick up this massive creature and run like basically at horse speed.
Yeah.
Right.
You're
And
a
shoot it.
Panyari shot put champion.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
mean,
and
it's
throw
very
it out
short
of my-
range.
Yeah.
Throw it with the force of like some sort of like gun or something.
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah,
god, who here's an abomination?
Exactly.
Okay, I'm throwing this devourer. I'm just trying to decide if I want to if I want to push myself. I'm getting a little bit stressed out, but
I think you have to push for war machine, right?
Yeah, you have to push to
Oh, right, you
activate
have
War
to push
Machine.
for it, right,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's like the benefit of War Machine.
right. Okay, so that's gonna be 4 die. Desperate position.
I think. Yeah, no, I think you guys are risky now.
Risky. Okay.
Oh, nice.
At least you are, because you're not like up to them quite yet.
Okay. Standard, and then I have 1 bonus die. Oh, I got a 6.
Ooh, yay.
Hey.
You do
And I'm throwing it at the hexed.
at the hex. Okay. Okay. So. What?
They
What's
walk
your-
in single file to disguise their numbers. You just
What's
knock
your-
them all down.
What's your effect level? Like, so you're
3?
You're threat 2, and you get +1
Potency.
Oh, right, because I have the tonic.
Yeah.
for the tonic, and then
And reduce the threat. War machine reduces the threat level of the enemies by 1.
right, and then you would normally do 2 harm, so that would be 5 total. Because these as you realize as you throw this into them, like, these hexed are like, as they're being controlled by the hag, like, they are not simple, frail, like, useless hexed, right? Like, they are infused with a power that like is beyond them. So like, by doing this, like, you are attacking these hexed, but it's like you're attacking the hag, which is great. that you have all this stuff because and that the hag is at -1 because that will be 2 more ticks. Because I think you got to 5 effect,
Nice.
and she is threat 4, -1 for your war machine.
Take
Awesome.
that. The
Oh, no.
hag.
So you win. You read it out the whole screen.
We killed Everett. Cinder King dead.
Okay, so you do this, and I'm thinking you throw this, and it knocks them over. Like I said, this is an encampment. I think they had like fires, right? Like they had, campfires made and different things like that, and like it knocks one of these hexed into a fire, and it pins it into it. So like you hear this like curdling scream, like that should be coming from the hex, right? Because that's what's actually in the flames, but it's actually coming out of the hag's mouth. It's like
Trippy.
this blood curdling thing, and like again you see like this ball lightning that she's holding is like destabilizing.
He didn't even have to pack this. He comes with a reliquary. I literally don't have enough d6s for this, so I'll re-roll one of them. That is a single 6. And
How many are
another
you rolling?
6. 7.
Wow.
His prowess well, he's also a stoic Barton. He's like, sucking chest wound. Don't worry about it. Fresh has got you covered. All right, so that is so that reduces. Oh, the corruption's gone, right? Use the reliquary. Okay, now we're dealing with a level 2 harm, prowess resist, and as a soldier, he's going to spend a grit, his single grit
for +1.
I think it's 2 plus 2 dice.
Oh, is it +2? Nice.
Which means this is 7 more dice. Oh wow. Okay. Sorry, I'm rolling on a small thing. Wow, highest was a 5, so that's 1 stress.
All right, but you reduce it by 1, and then are you armoring it down to 0 or taking it?
Yeah, let's do it. Armor, nothing.
Armor.
And I think so the net of this is no change to Adhikar himself. No harm, no corruption. Stress, he lost one, but he also gained 1, so like it's exactly the same. And I think he basically like again pats the horse on the side of the neck and just like rides it hard in front of the rookies and basically like holds his reliquary up. Like he always has a reliquary, right? He holds his reliquary up against like the attack and just swats it away, and then looks down at the rookies and says, "Let's get together sometime and talk about Faresh."
What does your reliquary look like?
I think it's like a horn shaped drinking vessel, and inside is the thumb bone of a dead chosen. You've just gotten a lot of use out of this horn very quickly from a very powerful source of magic. I think it's like a literal animal horn, right? Like traditional like
horn.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So I think that actually starts to like literally wither, and like it's not living, so it doesn't like blight, right? But like it has that look of like the vessel itself is like almost like petrifying. Like I know it's probably like made of like bone or whatever, so it doesn't really petrify, but it has that kind of like sunken into itself, like dehydrated kind of look. Like it's starting to show like veins running through the material where it was like smooth. And I think it feels heavier, right? Because stone is heavier than bone. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah, something has happened to it, and you feel it in your hand. Like you have that power. Rudy.
Yes, so I will spend my final charge of reliquary to resist, to give me another die to bring down the corruption to 1, and then resist.
So 2 dice on this roll, Rudy.
What?
+1 from Adhikar.
Oh, cool. Okay, so
what a guy.
And I too am bobbing and weaving as the Legion
Not a
has,
problem.
always enforced. Want to chain ball of lightning comes flying at you. Duck and weave.
What they say.
Yeah, I roll a 5, so
1 stress.
1 stress. Oh
And
boy.
then you've got the harm coming to you.
Yeah, I will use my second charge of heavy armor and just reduce it by 1 because I'm currently at 5 stress and I don't want to bump it up any further.
So you'll take 1 harm.
Yeah.
Where are you when this goes off? Like in relation to your squad mates?
I'm standing next to Azure and the Alchemist, who were towards the back, I assume. Red Raging has run in, the rookies.
Yep. I love this.
Too, yeah.
I love this. So you are taking level 1 harm, lingering distrust. Because you feel like this alchemist isn't doing their job.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, man.
It wasn't lingering; it was there already.
Well, no.
Well, now it will remain.
linger.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
And so I don't know if you were on the call already, but this isn't like lightning that's washing over you. This is like hex magic that's washing over you.
Yeah, when it did brain damage, I figured.
Exactly. Okay, cool. So who is next? Who's going to try and put the next one? I think it's just the hag left with some of these sort of hexed minions.
I don't think Arun's gone yet.
I think somebody needs to lead the rookies. No one has, like, the rookies have done nothing.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't see how in the fiction they've just been riding around in circles. Someone needs to direct them into some type of action.
They've been very impressed with Faresh. Let me tell you that. Okay. We're getting new converts.
I've blown all my stress, basically.
Yeah, okay. I guess I can.
Tonics for everybody.
Azure's like, oh my god, I have to lead more rookies. Yeah, they can. You can shoot, right? All of you, like, all right, shoot.
They all have powder, right? We took powder,
they
so
got black
they
shot,
get it
yeah.
too.
So they have.
They can spend the black shot, yeah.
Yeah, the hex are still up.
Yeah, so the hex are sort of attached, like they're basically linked to the hag through their like magic. And Arun can validate this, like that bond is like strengthening.
Yeah.
They're like an extension of the hag.
So yeah, basically Azure's like, yeah, you guys, you could shoot. So, pew pew, hit those hexed is what she's telling them. Pick them off.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah. So who is going to join in this group action? Anybody else?
Oh.
It's a shoot.
How's your stress, Azure?
My stress, I have 4 boxes left.
I like to shoot. I will shoot.
Okay, so I have to roll a shoot as well, right?
You will roll a shoot.
Well, wait, Arun shouldn't join in this. He should aim and blow something.
Can I do both?
No, that would be a separate
never mind
action.
then. No, I'm sorry. I will not participate.
Okay. So Azure doesn't have shoot at all.
Who?
You could command or like I think
discipline
is actually
Marshall.
probably where we're at right now because they're not doing their job.
Get your rears in gear, Azure says.
Nice.
Nice.
Do you think you are disciplining them to fight against the horrific?
Disciplining them against. Oh yeah. So like
then
basically
you get an extra die on this from Adhikar.
Okay, because basically it's like I know they're freaky. Just pretend. Just mind's eye. Like it's not as scary as you think it is. Mind over matter. Azure's really bad at this, but
that is not discipline. You are very much describing Marshall. Like discipline is do your fucking job.
Okay.
I did not get you black shot for you to waste it in your. So like give them give them some tough love.
You've been doing absolutely nothing this entire goddamn time. Why am I out here leading you? I'm supposed to be patching you up. There's absolutely no wounds on any of you right now. Get in there. Kill something. Okay, there you go.
You did it.
Now drink your tonics.
I know that was hard for you.
Now here, everybody is your Kool-Aid. I mixed. It's emergency. Okay. All right. So I'm rolling discipline
With an extra die.
and controlled risky.
This is just all risky now.
Okay.
Okay.
You've kind of
Standard submit,
cracked.
and then a bonus die from Adhikar submit. I rolled a 6.
Nice.
Ooh, They rolled a
Nice.
2.
Ooh.
Which is
Goddamn
okay.
reference.
I mean, you still get the best benefit, right? So that will be, you have scale, you have potency, and it's 2 normally. I think that's going to be, so it's two ticks for success, 2 ticks for being, or 1 tick for, what am I doing? Whatever. It's a tick.
So
You-
I take 1 stress though, correct?
And you will take 1
Yeah.
stress. Yes.
Nice.
Okay, so I think what happens here is like they turn to you and they like turn to each other and like God, what squad is this? This is the Star Vipers.
Star
Yeah,
Vipers,
Star Vipers.
And like this squad has just been kind of like almost randomly assembled, right? I mean, like they had they just took losses on their last mission, and like now they've just been reinforced by like just random people from random places. And like there's a moment where they're just like, we're a squad, we're going to act like a squad, right? And they line up and they shoot down the Hexed, and there is this sort of wail out of the hag, and in this moment of frustration she like waves her arms, and all of you are like thrown back. Some of you are on horses, your horses rear back. Some of you are already on the ground, and well, I mean, with the exception of Red Raging, like Red Raging takes, you know, like 1 step backwards. But like, and you're all kind of forced to turn away with this like force that is just like shoving it, like this, like almost like a hurricane force wind is just pushing you back. And as you turn back, this the hag has sort of like lifted off, and she is now being carried by another one of these devourers. I think you could maybe get another shot in, but I don't think you guys can kill her. And so I think she will escape. But even as she is escaping, like you see like that sickly green glow of the storm starts to like fade even immediately. Like it goes from like, you know, green to gray. And the storm is like approaching normalcy, and it seems like it will be burning itself out. You are still way behind enemy lines. So give me a how you get back to camp, right? You have broken the ritual. You still have all those thorns around, like kind of between you and anywhere you would want to go. So tell me how you get out of there. We'll roll 1 group action for it, and then we'll finish the mission.
How are people on skirmishing?
I
Cut
did
our way through.
skirmish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
So who wants to lead that?
Red Raging, right?
I have no more stress to take.
Adhikar can lead it. He's only got 2.
Oh yeah. Adhikar, step up. Show us how to do it.
All right, so
Adhikar.
he's still on this horse again. Past the side of its neck, and it's like a thought comes to him. And he's like, I shall name you Farhan.
So we have to name our horses first before we can get out of here. Is that what you're telling us, Adhikar?
Red Raging is like, with all due respect, keep it moving.
This...
Of course we will get out of here. And he looks around and with like no fucking way of like, there's no obvious way that he would know this. He just seems very sure that like that is the direction that we should go to fight our way through.
Mm-hmm.
and he like pulls his saber out, and he's like, he's a loyal soldier, right? So he like sort of like nods to Red Raging, and he's like, "Shall we charge?" And like, if she doesn't have a problem with it, he'll just fucking take off on his horse.
Yes, please.
All right, great.
Cool. Let's roll.
Please skirmish. Please clap.
Oh.
Ooh. All right. We're all rolling, right?
Yep. We all have to
Mhm.
roll.
I got a
Hey.
5.
Hey.
Nice.
6
Yeah, and Adhikar got a 6.
2.
and a 2. Okay.
How much?
So
How much stress did you take?
2 2s.
Hmm.
So that will be 2 stress for you, and the high roll was 2 of you got 6s. So, no additional harm comes of this. Basically,
you.
like you were able to kind of get back to camp,
Of course it didn't.
right? Just as you said it wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Just as Faresh said it would.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a successful mission, boys and girls and
Hell
ladies and
yeah.
gents. We have broken the ritual. We have broken the siege. And now the question remains, do you follow orders and follow Zora or not?
She said we had to keep moving?
She told you to break the siege so you could go into Fort Callisto.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We all determined that the Horn One is probably coming this way.
Yeah,
we
that's the
should
best place to
probably
wait
hang
for her,
out
right?
in the fort. Unfortunately, I would rather take the fight to these guys as well, just so the Horned One has a path to get to us. You know, I'm very concerned that the Horned One rolls up, sees all this shit, and is like, all right, well, moving on. But
I mean, if she's coming this way, then like
Yeah.
a pincer maneuver.
Oh, that's a very good point as well. If somehow Zora can get in contact with her and we can figure out a plan of attack to coincide, that would be awesome. So yeah, let's move the Legion into the fort and start helping with defenses.
Awesome.
It's good practice for Skydagger.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that's a good point.
All right. So in that case, let's do XP and we'll.
Real fast.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go. Adhikar, survive the mission. Help the squad through courage and determination. Yep. Heritage or trauma. Both of those. Both stoic and pious. And also obsessed with Faresh. I don't know if you guys caught on to that.
Yes.
Per
Oh,
highest
obsessed.
threat. Per highest threat of opponent faced.
4.
Holy
Ooh.
shit. 8
Hot
XP
damn.
for Adhikar.
Yo.
Jesus.
Cool. Arun, survive the mission. Yes. Help squad through keen observation of key shots. Yes. Brought into play heritage or trauma. I was stoic to resist with prowess. So yes, and then highest threat of opponent face 4. So 7 XP for Arun. Oof. Yeah.
So for Red Raging, survived the mission, helped your squad through might or fortitude, brought into play your heritage or trauma. I used the
Used
mark
marked.
to resist. Resist
Mhm.
corruption per highest threat. So that's 7 as well for Red Raging.
Okay. Survived. Yes. Helped with medical knowledge or emotional comfort. I just gave you tonics. Brought into play your heritage or trauma. Marked and shrewd.
Yeah, definitely.
And then 4. So I got 7 as well.
Hell yeah.
That was just an XP drop.
Major.
Plus all the desperate action XP we got.
Holy
Yeah.
moly.
So good mission.
Adhikar needs to have a conversation with Red Raging actually because he qualifies for heavy now. If we want.
Ooh, interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I think we should do that. So let's say that like the like as the ritual starts to subside, right? Like Breaker and I didn't even tick that clock for Zora at all because you guys move quickly, but like I think like Breaker has to disengage from Zora, who you have probably never seen actually like injured, because typically she is facing off against much lower beings. Breaker's not the most physically powerful, but she's very crafty. And you see like Zora is actually somewhat injured. Like she has like she's sweaty, she's bloody, she has like the bruises and things, like, you know, like it cuts and that sort of thing. But they start to retreat. When the hag breaks off the ritual, like Breaker retreats to regroup in that camp. So you are able to kind of march in relatively peacefully under the watch of the towers, and like the soldiers on the walls who cheer you as you once again kind of, most of you red raging. Unfortunately, you'll be on foot again, but most of you are able to kind of ride in, you know, lances and banners and that sort of thing, and you're cheered as you're welcome, because you have saved them from at least one more or two nights of attacks. But yeah, let's have that conversation as you're kind of like.
Actually, do we want to delay that so that we can figure out if we do want him to become a heavy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's
So
talk
we
about
may
it.
want him to stay
Okay,
soldier.
so we'll open up with you, like kind of walking
Yeah.
through the gates, I think, like, and having that sort of like very frank conversation.
Cool.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
So let's call it there.
Yes.
10:15.
Okay. A little over, but that's okay. Thank you.
Well, we had a little
Clay.
technical difficulty.
All right, come on. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with us during those difficulties. Shane, I'm sorry. You're going to have to cobble this together from 2 videos. I know that's always a good time.
It's all right. It'll be up on Saturday.
Yeah. So my name is Rudy Basso. You can follow me on Twitter at Rudy Basso, or check out don'tsplitthepodcastnetwork.com for lots of great podcasts. To my left, Mr. I-Hsien, where can people find you online?
Hey, on Twitter at EvilSensCarne and at the Total Party Thrill podcast, totalpartythrill.com.
Nice. To your left, Sally, where can people find you?
Hi, I am on Twitter at Sally T, and you can listen to my podcast, The Struggle Bus, which comes out every other Thursday. Tomorrow is not one of those Thursdays.
Gotcha. Next Thursday. That's the day.
Mhm.
Above and to your right, Amber. Hi. Hello.
Hi, yes, you can find me on Twitter at Rocket Orca, and you can find all my podcasts on geekspective.com. My show Shapeshift comes out tomorrow. It's the ending of a campaign, and then, or the start of the ending of a campaign. Yeah. And then also I'm on Tales from Oxferry, which actually streams on this channel every other Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Nice. And Shane.
You can find me on Twitter at Mundangerous, and you can find me on Total Party Thrill at TPTcast. And you can find me tomorrow morning talking about using dragons in your games.
New episode, new series.
Oh,
Total Party Thrill.
Oh, wow. Cool. And then a bunch of us are going to be at PAX Unplugged, so if you're going to be there, seek us out.
Mm-hmm.
If everyone's comfortable with being sought out. Seek me out at the very least.
Seek out Rudy.
Seek out
Yes.
Rudy, like Waldo, but Rudy. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back next week. Bye.
Bye.